Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show, everyone. It is the Nocturnal Nerdcast. I am your host, Eric. We are discussing pop culture in the dark. And tonight we have some fun topics to discuss and a few things to look at, so I'm pretty excited. It is the beginning of the week. How is everyone doing? How is your Monday going? Hope everybody's having a good day. Some shout outs for the chat. We got Donovan here. Dalton's in the building. Fetman's here. Jaybird is in the house. Thank you so much for being here. I know some people are a little bit confused because I said we would be moving to Tuesdays in a couple weeks, and that is next week. Next week is the first official Tuesday, so just a reminder, the Nerdcast will be moving to Tuesdays through the spring, and will return to Mondays at some point in the summer. Sometime in June, we'll be coming back on Monday nights. So there we go. Hope that explains it. Hope that clears it up. Anyway, right now we have no one in the green room, so it is just us at the moment. It is just us, you, and I. And I am drinking my favorite new drink, which is Dr. Pepper Black Cherry Zero Sugar. Now, I think they do make a sugar version of it, but I like the zero sugar version of this. I'm not sure if anybody else has it in your part of the world, but I highly recommend checking it out. All right. With that being said, the topics for tonight are going to be, we're going to be talking a little bit about Starfleet Academy Season 2. We're going to talk about the incident that happened at BAFTA. There's a lot to cover on that, and a lot of people have been posting it in the Discord, so I figure we might as well go over it, might as well talk about it. I don't think that my opinion on that should matter very much, especially considering the circumstances, but I will give some general thoughts on it. We have a couple videos to look at in regards to BAFTA. That'll be in the second hour. Also in the second hour, we're going to be talking about Deathstroke in the DCU. There's been some online chatter about that, so we're going to get into that and see where everybody stands on that situation. And a few other random things. So there we go. We got Staggervore in the building. Good to see you, Staggervore. And Jose, channel members. Thank you so much for being here again, and your continue to support the channel. Chris is here. Good to see you. Superior Nav here says, Dr. Pepper Cherry Zero Sugar. We had it here for a while. Been killing the 12 packs. Well, the thing about this, I am not a canned drinker. I prefer bottles. My cat is jumping down. Hold on. Is he going? I prefer bottles. But this only comes in cans. So that's kind of where we are. Okay, he's heading out. I have to shut the door because otherwise he will jump up and down the whole time we're talking. So let me do that now. All right. There we go. Door is shut. I have a new little bed here. It's a cat bed right here on the edge of the desk because they like to stand here. If you've watched my streams before, you know that they will come up here and get in the way of the camera a lot, which is great for you guys, bad for my microphone. It was covered in cat hair. It was really gross. So I got this little like bed to put on the side of the desk, and they both love it. I can't, they fight over it. And there's a cat tower, like literally right here with 3 big places for them to lay. And they just don't lay there. Literally, they ignore it. It's pretty funny. So the I'm Bored shirt. I see somebody gave a shout out for that. Donovan here. Love your I'm Bored shirt. If you would like to get your own, you can head over to the store. There's going to be a spring sale in the store starting in March. And I'll be uploading new designs. So you'll be able to get the classic I'm Bored shirt or hat, wellness check stuff, the shill shirts. Those are fun. All that's going to be over there. It will be on sale with 3 new designs being put into the store in March. So the store is attached to the channel. You can also find it on, where is it at? The linktree. If you go to linktree down there. Yeah, we're going to talk about this as well. We have a bunch of topics. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to... where's it at here? We're just going to do this. I'll go ahead and share this to the chat in case anybody's wondering. This didn't go through last time. Let's see. I think it both went through there. Yeah, so the shop is the first link and the coffee is the second link. I will go ahead and pin those. Pin over here. Pin over here. So if anybody wants to do that, you can do it. You can go ahead and do it. Do it. Anyway, Staggervore says, cool shirt to own. Of course, I wouldn't be able to wear it now because I'm not bored. Yeah. Did I hear that Yellow Flash actually does like the Wonder Man series? No, I didn't hear that. I want to explain something. When it comes to all the hate channels out there, I want to make this very clear because I think it's something that needs to be said. Just because they say they like something doesn't mean anything. And I know people are going to be like, oh, you're moving the goalposts. You're changing the goalposts. I'm not, though. Let me explain why it doesn't mean anything. When you make 50 videos a month shitting on Starfleet Academy, and you make one or two off-channel comments or even in a random live stream somewhere, you're like, oh, I love the show. It's really good. And it happens to be like a diverse show or diverse movie or whatever. There is no comparison. That's not a one-to-one thing. I know it has to be said because, I mean, people just don't understand. Those are not comparable. Those are not comparable things. So I think it's funny because did he make a video? Did he put out a video with like, I love a diverse show? Did he put that out and say that? Is that what he did? Because if he didn't do that, then it doesn't really mean much when he says things like that. I'm not saying that to like, to throw something on you, Superior Nav. I'm just saying that he doesn't really care. He doesn't care about that stuff. Not really. Not totally. All right. So let's go ahead. We'll jump into a few things to see if anybody stops in. We're going to start out with, let me see. We'll change the size of the window there so it'll fit better. Is anybody a fan of the TMNT animated Mutant Mayhem movie? It was one of my favorites. It was definitely one of my favorites. So we found out here, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 2 moves up to August 2027. And I thought about this and I'm like, this is animated. Whenever an animated movie gets moved up, I get a little nervous. And the reason why is because we know that animators are already sort of pushed to their limit. So when I see something like this, I wonder, is this ethical? Are they treating the artist well when they're doing this? Let's read through the article and see what it says here. So this is previously going to come out in September, so it's only moving up a month. But it says here, the film was a sequel to 2023's Mutant Mayhem, which had humor and stylish animation and helped gross $181.9 million globally. Adopting a decidedly younger spin towards its teenage heroes, the hugely entertaining and funny film seems destined to reinvigorate the franchise and attract plenty of nostalgic adults as well as young fans. It says Jeff Rowe returns to direct the sequel with Kyle Spears and Yashir Kasai co-directing. Seth Rogen produces alongside Evan Goldberg, James Weaver, Josh Fagan, and Ramsey McBean. It is unknown which characters will appear in the sequel, but Rowe did discuss the reasoning behind avoiding killing. Where'd I get killing from? Where'd that come from? Reason behind avoiding key villain Shredder in the first installment. Says Shredder is a big character when he's on screen. He demands a lot of presence. He takes up so much space in the story. So it was too much space in a movie where we've been trying to reintroduce a new generation of turtles and get audiences on board with this iteration. Having them not meet the ultimate villain, but a villain who's more on their level, it really made the story, a lot of story pieces come together. It helped us make the film that we ended up making. All right. Of course, The move comes up as new David Ellison-led Paramount plans to amp up the use of its classic properties. You know what's funny is a lot of the people in the hateful space that seems to love Paramount still has a lot of diverse content, has a lot of diverse media and things that do represent multiple voices. Like this movie is a good example. They came after the original film because of changes that were made to characters, specifically April. I heard so much negativity around April, enough to last me a lifetime when it comes to this movie. You would think that that would mean that the people involved at Paramount that wanted this film to, if they wanted the film to go away, they could just make the film go away. Right? They don't have to pretend. They don't have to pretend. So, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, hopefully they're treating the artist well. And that, why does it keep doing that? Stop popping up on my screen. I did see Omega chime in, I think. He said, give me 5 minutes and I'll pop in. Okay, cool. Cool. I don't know if it's been 5 minutes. That was 3 minutes ago. April dating Donatello was a choice. Superior Neff says, this TMNT was awful. You didn't like it? Was it for you? Not really. It was okay. I thought it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, but I'm someone who likes the way, like when the visuals are so different for me. Like a good example is Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I know a lot of people didn't really like the way that looked. They said the visuals on that didn't really look good to them. I thought it was interesting, and I tuned in because I was curious to see how they were going to make this two-dimensional, like classic comic book style art work in a animated world. And I liked it, right? So I thought that was really cool. So with this movie, I went in with a similar approach. Like I wanted to see what this movie was going to look like with a different art style. And I was very impressed by it. I was very impressed with it. Let's see here. I guess we can remove this since Omega's going to be jumping in. Take that out. Let's see what else we got here. All right, we'll talk about this, and I'm pretty sure that if Omega's going to be here, he'll be here before we get through too much of this. So, Venom animated movie in the works from Final Destination Bloodlines filmmakers. Now, I didn't know much about this. It says Tom Hardy will be involved creatively in the project. I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. The Venom trilogy was a little weird for me. I have thoughts on it. The first movie was surprisingly fun for what I thought could have been a mess, because it was charming. It was a very charming movie to me. I still hate the fact that Spider-Man wasn't included in the origin for Venom on Earth. I think that to me was a big issue, but they did the best with what they had. So I'm like, okay. And I laughed a lot. I thought it's worth checking out, right? The first movie. Pleasantly surprised. Made a lot of money. And it would have been fine. But they weren't going to let it go with that first movie. They wanted to continue this Venom franchise in Sony. And then we got the second movie. Now, the second movie, of course, had Carnage in it. But the second one showed me that the first movie was lightning in a bottle. Right? It was a one-off gem in this basket of ugly shit from Sony. Venom was just it was a one-off gem in a really bad basket. And part of that was, just the overall, the way the film was made. Like, I just didn't like some of the elements of it. I thought the story was very weak. Didn't care for it. I thought Carnage was okay. Sorry. I wanted chocolate. All right, so what do we know about this project here? The Final Destination Bloodline directors are going to be directing it, which is Zach Lipowski and Adam Stein. I can't talk. It was caramel and chocolate. Ah! My mouth is like glue. It's not a good idea when you're hosting a podcast to eat chocolate and caramel. This is what I'm having. It's so close to Easter, these were on sale. So I grabbed some. I forgot. I was just like, I want chocolate. No, it's chocolate and caramel. So very tasty, but causes my mouth to I feel like I'm chewing through cement. Pretty crazy. What's up, Tony? How you doing? JYCV says the first Venom movie was definitely a guilty pleasure. I would agree. For sure. 100%. I need to get mini eggs, bro. Mini eggs. Yeah, I should. Yeah, these are like the large chocolate candies, I guess. Oh, we have someone in the green room. Let's see if they're going to be here for a while. They're stopping in to say hi. It is Ronan. What's up, Ronan?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm good. So I trying to get used to the whole like Tuesday thing now. So I'm like, oh, that's right. We're gonna do that next week.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I said the same thing. I was like, people are probably confused because I said in 2 weeks, but I didn't specify like the date. So yeah, it's gonna start the first Tuesday in March. Essentially, is when I
with that, and also I'm working on this thing for the channel. So I'm like, I'm gonna see if I can try to balance it out while I'm still at the show for a little bit, and then still be able to work this stuff because I don't want to. I fixed my sleeping schedule, I think. So knocking on wood that I keep it good.
Well, I think that Omega said he was stopping in, but I haven't seen him yet. So hopefully everything's okay with him. What do you think about this Venom movie right now, Juice? Did you read this? It came out over the weekend.
I heard about this. You know what? I'm not trying to hate because I thought the first film was like whatever. I think Tom Hardy it could be great as Eddie Brock, but just those films were what they are. As an animated film, I say go for it. There's such more. I don't want to say freedom, but just like more space to be more Venom, and hopefully they learn the right lessons from the films. That even though they made some money, that like it was still a different iteration than what people wanted out of the pure comic books, in my opinion. But again, I love animation and I believe in it, and I feel like animation has gone way more closer to the source material and the spirit of these characters and worlds more than live action. But then again, once in a while, you never know.
Mm-hmm. Says here, given the subject matter, the pedigree of filmmakers, this project doesn't sound particularly kid friendly. So we're thinking like a more mature cartoon, I guess.
A mature version. I mean, it is Venom, so like, and he started off. I think he was like eating people's brains, so like it makes sense.
I think you could actually get a little more gory in cartoons because you can get more creative with it. Sony Pictures, which controls the rights to Venom through its licensing deal with Marvel's Spider-Man universe, will produce the picture through Sony Pictures Animation. The division scored with previous animated web-spinning adventures such as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, and a third film, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, is expected to debut in theaters 2027. That's all we really have. They don't know if Tom Hardy is going to be voicing Eddie Brock, though. They don't know. It's not confirmed. He is involved in the project, but how are you involved with it if you're not voice acting? Like, what would he be doing? I mean, really? I mean, is Tom Hardy known for directing anything or writing anything or producing anything? I don't know.
Not that I'm aware of now. Just acting.
Says critics more or less hated the Venom franchise, but the films were massive hits, collectively earning more than 1.8 billion globally. Altogether, though.
Right.
Altogether. That wasn't one movie. The most successful one was still the first one. I don't know. I guess I'm on board with this. I don't really see necessarily a big negative to a Venom animated movie. I mean, it's got to be better than the trilogy was, because I think the trilogy suffered from a lot of ups and downs. So, Silhouette Animator says Tom Hardy offering his likeness. I don't know about that. If you're gonna make it look like him but not sound like him, I don't see what the point is.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
I don't know. I like, again, if they have a take and it's closer, more faithful to what the character is, and I like the character. I don't love the character.
Right.
It's like, don't try the same things you did in live action. Do different. Do it with animation.
Well, you have a brand new world. Like, you can do anything you want, really.
And I kind of, in some regards, I pity them a tiny bit, because I'm like, well, when it comes to animation, specifically the Spider-Man corner of all Marvel, the Spider-Verse is right there, and that's the gold standard. So, like...
Right. Yeah. We do have another person in the green room. We have Darren coming in.
Hello.
Oh, my God.
By the way...
I feel like I haven't seen you in months.
I was going to say, I don't think the two of you have been on.
It's been a while, my friend.
Yeah.
Darren, any thoughts on a mature, like, possibly R-rated Venom animated movie with Tom Hardy?
Sounds great. I'm in. I mean, I think people are really taking that Tom Hardy thing out of context a little bit. Everyone's like, Tom Hardy's back at Venom. I think he's probably just a producer. I think he's probably more of a...
That's literally what I just said a minute ago to Ryan. I was like, is he like a producer, or is he directed anything?
Yeah.
I think if he was like returning, I think they would have said reprising his role.
Starring Tom Hardy, essentially.
Yes, that's not what they said. So I think he just loves the character. He's probably like, yeah, I want to be involved with whatever you're doing next. But sounds incredible. Like, it kind of sounds like what people wanted the first time around.
Mm-hmm.
My only concern is I do not want to saturate the market with Venom, though. Right? We've had 3 movies with him, solo movies. They did, obviously, the Tobey movie with him. He's done a lot of the animated stuff. Let's be honest, I have a feeling they want to do a Tom Venom movie at some point. Like they probably want Venom in his, like, trilogy at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want them to oversaturate Venom, right? He's a cool character. Don't overdo it. If this is animation, if this is in the Spider-Verse, art style, take your time. I don't need it to come out within the next couple of years. Maybe it's 5 years from now or something, just to let it breathe from the trilogy we just got done wrapping up. So
now, I mentioned it just before you got here that TMNT Mutant Mayhem 2 is getting an early release. It's coming out a month earlier than what it was scheduled to be. I'm a little nervous because I know animators are already stressed out in Hollywood with, like, making projects. I'm going to say I don't think we should be worried. I think they're probably in the polishing stages of, like, at that point, when we get to the release, it should be pretty much done. Any thoughts on that? Because I really liked the first one. So
yeah.
Any opinions?
I mean, August is when the first movie came out as well. So I think like late summer is a good time for them. The, like, one last, like, back to school movie for, like, kids and the families and stuff like that. And yeah, they've been working on that movie for a while. Actually, it was supposed to come out this year originally. Like, I think it was supposed to be, like, this summer, and then it got pushed back. So they had a whole extra year to polish it up and work on it. So
okay.
No concerns. Hope it's good.
Welcome, Omega, who hasn't been here in a minute. Any thoughts on the Venom animated movie coming out? With
I hope it's good. I mean, is there Spider-Man in it?
No.
I don't care.
I mean, good.
I mean, they technically could, because they have the rights to do Spider-Man in movies as an animated.
It's animated too, so they could do whatever they want.
They can, but will they?
I think Venom is, like, the one Spider-Man villain that I'm like, you could do it, right? You can do it without Spider-Man.
If there's any Spider-Man villain that, he would be the one, but still, it's like,
I prefer Spider-Man was there. Like, I think actually it'd be really cool to do a Venom versus Spider-Man movie from the POV of Venom. Like, that would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be
just
interesting.
this, like, I need a host or I'm going to die. Like, I think that would actually be really cool. Like, especially if it's, like, rated R. Like, they could go deep with it. Like, it could be really cool.
Well, I also want to say that this kind of tells me that maybe they're done with live action Venom movies.
Oh, yeah. I think they're,
So
at least for now.
Maybe they're doing the animated Venom stuff on their end because they want to use live action Venom in the MCU. I wonder if that's what's going to happen. So, All right, so before we move into the next topic, I do want to remind people we are about half an hour in, and we have not had any super chats, which isn't a big deal. But I do want to point out that I'm excited about this goal, and I would really like to reach it, specifically because it is for Black History Month. So this was Serenity suggested this. Serenity suggested this, and so on Thursday, we will be doing whatever wins this poll because it is the end of February. So I want to make sure that I get that in before the end of the month. And it was a great idea. So thank you. Shout out to Serenity for suggesting this. So these are all based on Black or / POC characters. And what this is every one of these rankings or favorites or list or whatever is based on people of color. So it is top 3 favorite Black / POC superheroes. That's the first choice. Second is top 3 favorite live actions film / shows that feature prominently Black characters. So it can be a complete thing like Black Panther, or it could be something where there's a Black lead actor or actress in it. It doesn't have to be an all Black cast, but shout out if you want to do that as well. Top 3 favorite animated shows and films that feature Black / POC characters. And the last category is top 3 favorite Black / POC actors and actresses. So all of those are great categories. I'd like to do one of those on Thursday. So if we reach the goal, we will be doing one of those. So there we go.
I chose top 3 favorite superheroes, but I was like, now I'm thinking I probably should have chose live film TV shows because I have some out there answers. Not out there answers, some pretty niche answers.
Well, it looks like you're on the side of most people, though. It seems like the top 3 favorite superheroes is the one that's winning by a large
I chose that one. Now I'm
margin,
like, maybe I should have chose the other one, but oh well.
Yeah, Staggervore. That was the thing is when I was doing the list, looking at the dates, I was like, oh shit, we have like 1 week left to get this done. And Serenity definitely reminded me to put it together. So that's in the Reloaded chat. In the Debunks chat, if we reach the goal, you'll get a bonus solo stream next week because there is no Shillcast this Wednesday. There's no Shillcast, which is the shared podcast I do with several channels. We're not doing one this week. I will be doing a solo stream on Wednesday on the Debunks channel. And if you would like to do another one the following Wednesday, then we need to hit the super chat goal over there. And that's 5 super chats. So there we go. All right. With that being said, we got a couple super chats. So Silhouette Animator here with the $1.99 super chat and a channel member. Thank you so much. Null as the main baddie. Would we want Null in the first Venom movie as the main villain or no?
That'd be interesting.
I don't know much about the character outside of just like people were really pushing for him.
Well, he's like the source of all the symbiotes. Essentially, he's like the person that created them.
So. He was like,
didn't we tease him in the last movie?
Yep. And then we're never,
we'll never see it. We'll never see it.
Yeah.
What if
basically Null's like this entity before the universe even began? So it's like
maybe
before the Allspark.
What if it's another multiverse movie? Like what if it's like Venom across the Venomverse?
you know what?
That would be half bad.
They should have just made Null the villain in the third movie. I don't know why they didn't do that. It just didn't make a lot of sense.
Marketing.
So
I mean, like, wasn't the plan like the original plan? It was supposed to be like, well, we were setting him up for Brand New Day, and then Venom was supposed to be involved in that movie or whatever, and then
it was a cock tease, dude. Like they literally showed up in their own like post-credit scenes. It's like, oh, they crossed universes in the background, but because of legal reasons, we couldn't do it. So that's all.
Oh, by the way, in the second hour, we will be doing our top 3. I can't remember how it was worded. Hold on, let me double check here. Top 3 worst or least favorite, I guess, retcons in movies and TV shows, and it's a pretty big and broad category. So. Yeah, something that changed later on that you think was a negative, or maybe something was introduced that wasn't explained. Like a good example is in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, they introduce her sister late in the series, And even though they kind of tease it throughout the other seasons, it kind of comes out of nowhere, and it feels like they're just like sort of retconning the show. So I would say something like that. I mean, even though it's not specifically a retcon, it is like in that vein.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go with that. I mean, you could. There's other examples, but that's probably the best thing I could think of.
I might not be able to make it to that portion, but I probably before I would head out, whenever I head out, I probably let you know like what mine would be. Even though I don't hate it like a lot of people hate it, but I'd be like, this was pretty predictable and like.
Yeah,
I can read it from far away.
Yeah. If you just want to shout out a couple, like right before you go, you can.
Yeah.
There we go. A $1.99 super chat from Silhouette Animator. Thoughts on the DC / Milestone, the Dakota Incident comic? I saw the cover for it, I think, but I haven't read it. Is it even out yet? Is it out? Hold on. Let me check for this.
I don't know. I've been out of the loop a little bit from the comics. The only thing I know out of DC right now is that like either it's about to happen is the Marvel DC crossover and Absolute Green Arrow. That is it.
It doesn't come out till April.
Okay.
It says here, spinning out of the pages of the new history of the DC universe, uncover an untold moment in DC history where a murder leads to an all-out war between the heroes of Dakota City and the U.S. government. As their home becomes a battlefield, what must Static and Rocket are like honestly the most recognizable characters. I know Icon is popular, but Static and Rocket are very recognizable. And others sacrifice to keep their loved ones safe, but as heroes fall in the past, the stage is set for their return to the present. Is this like the official like blending the worlds together? Isn't that what this is about? It's like a crisis thing, but for Milestone and DC. Am I wrong about that? I don't know. Let me know in the chat, but I believe that's what this is supposed to be.
That wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility, I think.
Yeah. So this is coming out Wednesday. It said April on maybe that was the digital version. I'm not sure. It must be the digital version. That's what they're talking about. All right, so we got a couple other small topics where you need to get through in the first hour. Here's the next one. Daredevil Born Again showrunner explains why Disney Plus show doesn't cross over with the wider MCU. Did you guys see this article?
No.
No.
All right. So it goes down here. I don't care about your newsletter. Just stop spamming me. With Matt Murdock returning for season 2 of Daredevil Born Again next month, don't expect Mr. Fantastic or Spider-Man to stop in Hell's Kitchen for a visit.
Okay.
Did you guys hear that?
No.
Yeah, it was weird.
Well.
Ahead of the sophomore season's March 24 premiere on Disney Plus, showrunner Dario Scarzapan recently explained why, despite him being into it, the series won't cross over with characters from the wider MCU. Now, this is weird to me because Daredevil has crossed over with the movies. Like, we've seen it happen already.
No Way Home.
He goes, I'd be into it because I dig the comics, but no, that's kind of been fun and challenging thing. And he goes, we know there's a huge world out there in the MCU. This corner of it has crossovers. We've seen Daredevil in other shows. There are other characters that are going to be popping up in the movies and stuff. And that all goes into the larger MCU of it all. The joke we make is, oh, those guys are uptown. We're downtown. We kind of have a pocket that's in this world of Hell's Kitchen, this world of New York. I always think that maybe these characters take little vacations into the larger world, but the story that we're focused on is really granular. And that's it. Now, I did see that there's a possibility of Luke Cage coming back, and they want to continue that story.
I hope so, man.
This feels to me, I just want to be very, very, very frank with this. This feels to me like the same argument we've been having about these Netflix shows from the beginning.
Since Netflix, yeah. It's like you would think now under Disney Plus that it'd be easier. But evidently not.
I agree with the fact that they should be telling their own stories in each season, and that's why they have showrunners. That's the way they are now, similar to how they did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and other shows. But you have access to these characters. And you don't have to do like what you did with the Marvels, because even though I enjoy that movie, and I think the movie's a lot of fun, the way they framed that movie, marketed that movie, and packaged that movie shows that the TV power isn't necessarily going to work ahead of like the movie characters. You know, it's just not going to work. I get that. But what's wrong with throwing Daredevil in a Spider-Man movie? You're using Punisher.
Yeah,
Punisher's in the Spider-Man movie.
I don't need Spider-Man in every episode of every season of it. I'm like, give me a mid-season thing or like a finale thing, or like, hell, I would do it in the mid-season, because if you do it at the beginning, that's all people are going to talk about. If you do it at the end, it's all people are going to talk about. It's like, all right, give it a mid-season thing. It's not marketed. It's like, it's a random thing that, like, if you're watching the show, here's their little reward. Or hell, you don't even need him interacting with Matt. Just showing Tom Holland like stuff, footage on a TV that Matt's watching. It's like, all right, there, boom, that's enough. And it's like, all right, that's the acknowledgement of like not making it feel like it's still a taboo thing where you have to use code to reference it. It's like, come on now.
I mean, this isn't saying anything about Spider-Man though, right? Like Matt could totally still appear in a Spider-Man movie. This is saying our show won't have crossovers with like the larger MCU. Like Spider-Man won't show up in Daredevil, which I still think is kind of bullshit. Like I think like we spent all these years like getting Daredevil back to the point where he can exist in the MCU. I do want him to be interacting with like, you know, like my favorite episode, or I guess not my favorite, but like one of my favorite things of the last season, I loved seeing like Kamala's dad interact with Daredevil. Like that was such a fun thing I wasn't expecting. I'd love like a Miss Marvel Daredevil crossover episode. I want to see Kate Bishop coming back in here and kicking, you know, Kingpin's ass. And I hope this is just like a little bit of a misdirect, because I do think season 3 is going to be, I thought at least was going to be like kind of more of a crossovery kind of season, or like maybe not crossovery, but like I think that's where we're bringing in like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, and we're bringing back Elektra, I feel like, and I'm hoping Echo, you know, like can Echo appear? She's not part of like, she's part of the larger MCU, you know. So I hope this is just them trying to like throw us off the case, maybe of just being like, guys, they're never appearing. They were just doing our thing, and then bam, we get, holy shit, it's Miss Marvel or something crazy. I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
We'll see though.
Anybody else have thoughts on this? I will say, I was going to say, do we think it's difficult because of Spider-Man's shared ownership in the movies? Is that the problem?
That's my guess.
Yeah.
Because, and also, I would say, and I know that I hate to use this whole like money thing, but the movie actors are probably really expensive to get on the TV side. So even if Tom Holland showed up on a tablet or a movie frame or something like that, where it's like on the TV, he still has to get paid for that, right?
Yeah.
Don't they have to pay him for showing up and appearing?
Yeah, I'm sure he's expensive too.
So they'd have to work some deal out with that. But I will say, like you were saying, Darren, you know, having somebody show up, even if it is a second, not the main character, but somebody from that world that can tie it together.
Yeah.
It feels really good. Like you talked about Ms. Marvel and her dad showing up. We got that connection without her being there. So now we know, hey, these characters, there's a 6 degrees of separation situation with them, you know?
Can you pull up Anthony's comment, like latest comment, just really quickly? Because like the echo of it all is where I'm kind of calling bullshit a little bit, because I don't know if you guys talked about this on the show, but the actress who plays Echo recently went onto Instagram and said, "I'm coming back for something." Like she teased her MCU return. She said something's happening soon. What's currently about to be filming? Daredevil season 3.
Yes. So
I think I maybe in like a large capacity, like I don't think Sam Wilson is going to show up in Daredevil season 3, right? Like the big guns, obviously not. But I don't think that they would be against like, you know, again, a Kate Bishop showing up, or again like an Echo showing up. Like I think it's probably just about time and resources and about what they can get. Like I doubt there's a rule like we're never bringing these characters in.
Would you want an X-Men character in Daredevil?
Not right now. I don't think it'd make a lot of sense right now, but maybe.
Yeah, who exactly though?
I mean,
struggling to think of who.
We could have Joy Pad Jake in there for sure. Like he could come in.
My least favorite X-Men right there.
Oh wow.
That's mid tier, but damn.
That's fine. You know what, Omega? I'm still better than a lot of those shitty Fox X-Men.
Yeah. That's why I said mid-tier.
I don't know.
It's fine, Darren. You're my least favorite Ben 10 character. So
I mean, fair enough. Fair enough.
I do want to say also that I to not be completely negative on that, I do like the idea that the shows are being treated as their own thing instead of now just an accessory to movies, because that's one of the biggest issues I had with it.
It's hard to balance those two worlds, right? Of being solo and your own thing, but also interconnective. Like, I mean, let's be honest. Like, that's the same exact thing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. really struggled with for those first couple seasons. Is they tried to be interconnected. They did not work with them, so they said, "Hey, we're just going to do our own thing and tell our own stories."
Yeah,
I remember as soon as they tried doing that, that's when the ratings of the episodes hit an all-time low. Was when they tried connecting to things like Winter Soldier and Dark World. It just didn't work.
I mean, yeah, it's just once you because everything with the MCU is so convoluted nowadays. If they kind of at least made like little nods or kind of like, you know, little references here and there, cool. But yeah, as much as I wanted to be interconnected, it's probably too much for the writers to keep all of that in line. And if they get one thing wrong, of course, the internet's going to be down their throats.
You know, you should have one person whose job, their only job in the world, is just to watch all the other shit, and then whenever somebody goes to bring a character in and say, "All right, you can do this, this, this. These are the things you can't do. Have fun with the rest. Just mediate over all the connections."
I volunteer as tribute.
I was gonna say I can do that.
To watch Marvel movies all day, that'd be great.
I can do that. Shit,
that'd be awesome.
Do it for free.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
do it
pay
for free
me,
enough
but yeah,
anyway.
you'll freaking pay me.
We do it anyway. Yeah.
Come on, Marvel.
I do think that giving them a showrunner is kind of them going, "Hey, Kevin Feige was stretched too thin trying to watch over all these projects." And that's why they had some issues with quality.
We don't want another 2022.
The TV show, like it's like there's foundational work to way to go about it. It's like, I don't know, it's weird.
It's so funny, and like me and Eric have talked about this a lot, but it's so funny that their like solution to making TV shows is just doing what TV has done from literally the very like your solution is the bare minimum of what you should have been doing to begin with. Like congratulations, you finally got it.
You finally caught up with the rest of the party.
It's so funny. Is this the first show to fully do it though? Like, is season 2 the first like official showrunner we're getting for like one of these shows?
I think so.
Because I think Wonder Man was kind of like the last of the like.
Yeah, Ironheart also was filmed with the old style as well. Ironheart was also done with the old style.
Daredevil was done with a team, so.
Yeah,
I mean, X-Men '97 technically, but you know, even that's a little asterisk.
Yeah, I mean, I meant more like live action, like MCU.
Sorry, Darren, not everything can be live action. Kidding.
I don't remember. Does Vision Quest have a showrunner? I think they do, don't they?
I don't know.
Okay. Either way, I'm excited for them to switch gears and have showrunners again.
Sorry, I just don't know if I can like get hyped for that show. I mean, I'll probably watch it when it comes out, but I mean, I stopped caring about Vision a long time ago.
Oh man, I've been intrigued, man. I've been waiting for that fool. I'm like, where the fuck did he go? Like,
yeah, I was like, I'm interested, very interested, but it's like it's been so long. It's like, are y'all doing it or what?
Only thing I'm really interested in is the possible revamped Ultron, but that's it.
I think it is the characters around Vision, but like, yeah, I'm excited for like this android story. I'm excited to see like remnants of Agent Carter come into fray. I'm excited to, obviously, like a part of me goes like going into like the rumor me was like, oh, they're going to connect Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and blah blah blah. But I'm excited. I've always kind of liked Vision. I've always thought his story was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a new Vision. Like, this isn't even the same. Like, this is really a brand new character that we get to follow. And to see. Although, I will say, it's been too damn long. Like, it's been, what, 6 years since WandaVision? 5 years?
Oh, gosh.
I
year.
actually
don't say that.
It'll be 5 years this year.
I actually
Fuck.
think that this is a remnant of the problems they had with phases 4 and 5 is this extended amount of time that we spend away from these characters. And the beauty of the earlier phases, one of the things I think the earlier phases got right that the later phases is having issues with, is the end credit scenes crossed over with the existing things that we had, and it was less about let me tease something coming 10 movies from now. I want to cross over with something that's happening in the world at this moment. That's kind of what they did, and they did it well.
Yeah, because like you had Captain Marvel, for example, the post-credit scene of that was probably a scene filmed in the production of Endgame that they just took out and put as Captain Marvel's post-credit
Oh
scene.
yeah. And to go with like what Darren was saying, I hope Vision gets the Loki treatment in terms of like Vision and Loki both had their arcs in the movies, and then Loki got a new version to go on a different yet similar arc in the show, and I hope they give that opportunity to Vision now that it's an alternative version. And I shit you not, I can already call if they do an episode of that show where they hint at like the possible like search for Scarlet Witch for Wanda. Like I shit you not, I already could see them title the episode, Do Androids Dream of Scarlet Witches or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, ooh, I like that. That's a good little nod.
I also want to say I think that if you look at the What If, I believe it's season 3 with the Vision episode. I think that the writers, it even happened in Infinity War. Okay, Vision is so incredibly powerful. It is really hard to write stories around him because his level, his access to certain abilities makes him somewhat unbeatable by most characters.
Yeah.
If you think about it, we talk about how powerful Thor. Sorry, Jake, you're really low again.
Every time I'm on here.
Isn't he? Is he low to everybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went low. Yeah.
Now?
Okay. Yeah, now it's normal.
Every time I'm on here. Nowhere else. It's just here. Swear to God.
So, if you think about it, we talk about like the top most powerful characters in the MCU that we have right now that are not God tier, but they're extremely powerful. You have like Captain Marvel. You have, Icarus, who could still be alive technically, I guess. Thor, who is considered a god, but we know that's all just how they name their characters or gods. But you have Thor, and then you have characters like Scarlet Witch, that's almost a god tier character, right? But you look at Vision. Vision could fight all of those characters.
Yeah.
Vision could fight every single one of them. And,
Oh yeah.
And do it with very little stress whatsoever. So in Infinity War, they had to actually hurt him at the beginning, so that he would be hard to use or fight or do any of those things throughout the majority of that movie.
And then Scarlet Witch was a puppy guard for him, which is why she wasn't out on the field for so long. They even questioned it in the movie. Fucking.
Okoye is like, why was she up there the whole time?
Right, like why was she up there?
And if you look at the What If, even if you don't like that series, if you look at the episode of What If where he was the arm of authority in the episode that he was in, you'll see why he was so unstoppable. He can turn intangible. Like you can't even touch him. No one can like he's not a human. You can't fuck with his mind because he's not a human.
He also wielded Mjölnir.
Yeah. He can hold the Infinity Stones without worrying about getting killed from using them. There's a million things that he can do that other people can't.
Yeah.
He's really fucking powerful.
I don't think they've ever really said like how the properties of those stones work, like how someone can survive holding one stone versus another, or what character can survive holding one versus another. Because we saw, when you take someone like the Guardians, who obviously struggle to all hold the Power Stone together, but then you have somebody like Clint Barton, who is able to hold the Soul Stone in almost his bare hand. So I feel like each stone kind of has different properties.
Donovan, it's not a cop-out. Let me explain to you what I mean when I talk about writers who have trouble writing this kind of stuff. It's not that it is impossible. It just takes a really good writer to make a script work around a character that is so extremely powerful that it makes them almost a god.
Yeah,
You have to be very, very careful about how you write it. Some of the best Superman stories, if you look at Superman and Lois, some of the best Superman stories are based around the humanity of those characters. Vision doesn't really have humanity because he's not a human, so it makes it difficult to write that stuff around him as a character. If you look at Superman and Lois, one of the toughest things Superman had to deal with was Lois having cancer because he literally couldn't do anything about it. And that takes away that level of godliness from these characters. That's what I mean. I'm saying you just have to be a really good writer to write those kinds of stories.
Yeah, when you take those powerful characters and put them up against something that, despite all their power, they're powerless against, that's when you have good stories.
Yeah.
And a lot of writers can't do it. Sorry, go ahead, Darren.
And I also think it's going to help, like, I think Vision Quest has the opportunity to tell a really interesting story about a character who doesn't know who he is, right? Like, this isn't the Vision we've been following since day one. This is a Vision who was born out of nothing, who doesn't know who he is or who the ones he loves is or who feels betrayed. Now, in fairness, that was, again, 5 years ago. I don't know what the fuck he's been up to over these 5 years or whatever it is, unless it's a prequel. But then, like, I think there's an opportunity there, like, with the return of Vision, this character who doesn't know who they are, who's lost their way. It's like, wait, you're my father? Like Ultron, like, is, right? His father, if you will. So I think there's I think there's an opportunity there to tell a really interesting story about, like, what makes you you. Is it the people that created you, or is it the people around? I don't know. I feel like there's an opportunity
choices you make. Yeah,
I think there's a cool opportunity here.
I wonder, and I haven't finished the run. I should finish it, but I remember reading the first issue. I wonder if they're gonna adapt some of Tom King's Vision run, or like at a certain point he has a family, and it's the robot family, and they're in the white picket fence, neighborhood. And then what happens if, like, Grandpa Ultron shows up, and it's like, what does that mean? It's like, that'd be an intriguing thing if they do that. And I love that, dude. I haven't seen shit leaked at all. It's been so hush hush that I'm like, I wonder when the first teaser comes out, if it's gonna, like, set off alarms going off, like, yo, is this what they've been cooking this whole time?
Would that be your vision for the show, Ronan?
Ew.
And I'm excited, though, is because I think there's a very, very, very high chance that Billy and Tommy show up, right? Are we building to Young Avengers stuff? Like, I think that's another reason to kind of get...
Somebody take a shot. Darren said Young Avengers.
Young Avengers, quotations, there's no way in hell they're called that, but, same idea.
I need my dude to have a vision and be like, my wife is still out there. I gotta go get her. And, like,
that's another big thing. Yeah,
hey, maybe I just thought about this. Maybe somebody like Matt Murdock could have helped out Wanda after the whole Vision thing. Because think about it. They both dress in red. They both lost their vision. You can see the differences and similarities, right?
Oh, God. All right. So I do want to address, we're coming into the second hour here. We'll be getting to the major topics. But I do want to, we got two small things I want to cover. But I do want to address this from Zana Cross here. I still don't like that season. Lois not wanting to take advantage, advanced tech to not cheat was such a cop-out. I didn't like it, but let me tell you why I didn't like it.
That's not cheating, though, because they flat out say that technology could kill her. They don't know it's safe.
They were saying that if it did, that would be keeping it from the world would be a mistake. That was the issue that they had with it after.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I had an issue with her decisions on this because I didn't want her to die. Right? That was my issue. It was her choice, and at the end of the day, somebody's choice is their choice, right? So, like for example, if somebody is suffering through cancer treatments and they go, I don't want any more treatments. This is making my life a living hell. I just want to let things go. They're going to happen naturally or whatever. You have to respect them for doing that. You can't be like, no, you are going to take these treatments whether you want to or not. Like, you have to respect that. So as much as I hated the fact that she wouldn't do it, it was less because it was a cop-out or anything like that. And I had to think about it realistically. To me, it was the fact that she was making a decision that was her decision. Like, when somebody's suffering from a terminal illness, you have to let them make their own decisions. So I know it sucks, but you do.
But I mean, it felt real. That's the thing. Like, you were frustrated because it was compelling.
Hit home.
like the push and pull felt real, and I'm trying not to spoil for Ronan because I want him to feel all that stuff for himself when he gets there.
Yeah.
That you make again, if you put these powerful characters against a situation that they just can't punch their way out of, that's how you make good writing.
Yeah,
like, that's why for Superman, that's why his father's heart attack in the '78 movie works so well.
And we're gonna move on to the other subjects, but I do want to say that people online have been giving me a lot of shit because I posted Tyler Hoechlin as my favorite Superman. I just stand by that comment. Like
it's mine too.
Like I think
the right answer.
Yeah, I think he is the most. He is the most. Let me put it this way: even with nostalgia in mind here, to me, he exemplifies the most values that I associate with Superman from the comic books. That's why I find it to be my favorite Superman. I think he just has all those values.
He has the hope that you would see in Christopher Reeve. He has the power you would see from Henry Cavill. He has the longevity in his career that you would see from Tom Welling.
He loves diversity like Dean Cain. It's all great stuff. So.
You know what? That show did something that live action media hadn't done before. They made him a dad. And
that's true.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing I love about it is for the first time, I felt a connection to him as a character because he was an older Superman. So a lot of the things he was dealing with in his life were things that I'm like, oh, I get it. Finances, relationship issues, things like that. Those are all things. Family, dealing with kids. All these are things that are relatable to me. Like a lot of Supermen out there are either year 1, year 2, or they're still relatively young. We even have it with My Adventures with Superman, where we have a brand new, younger Superman. Tyler Hoechlin was portraying a Superman that we've never seen before.
And also he and Lois, like they actually felt like a real couple that would have lasted like the 25 years or however long that they did last. Like they have misgivings, they have issues, they have their ups and downs, but they talk it out. They don't, make each other feel bad about something every episode. There's not a new piece of drama every episode.
This is not a hot take to me at all. Like, if you're asking me which stories are better, like obviously I think Superman and Lois are better stories than Man of Steel, and I love Man of Steel.
I think he means the Clark and Lois of both of those, but even still, I don't think it's a hot take either.
Yeah, I don't either.
For people who have actually watched the show, it's not a hot take. It's just...
Well, Xana, that was the thing, is that was intentional because they wanted to court different ages of demographics. They wanted that younger CW audience to watch it, so they had to have the kids stuff in it. But then they also wanted something for adults to enjoy as well. So I think they did a good balance of both of those things. So
those are also like some of the best kid characters that I've seen in superhero media in a while.
I would agree. All right. All right, so we got a couple small things. We're going to do a little speed run, bit of news before we get to our next topics, because we are on the second hour, and I want to get into our main topics. But here's the first one. Starfleet Academy Season 2 is wrapped. For all the haters that thought the show is getting canceled, Season 2 is done filming. It looks like Star Trek Starfleet Academy Season 2 is almost wrapped. So far, a few cast members have announced they've completed the last day of on-set filming. Cast members Karis and Gina have confirmed they are done. And we knew the season was already filming, so all the people out there screaming and hollering about this, saying it was going to be canceled. They didn't spend a bunch of money to film Season 2 if the executives did not like Season 1. And I know people don't like that reality, the ones that hate the show, but that is the reality. When the executives watched the first season, they liked it, they went ahead and greenlit the second season, and so the second season is done.
As someone who's actively watching the show, I'm excited to see what happens next. Because I was thinking about this for a while now, because I actually follow the guy who plays Jaden on Instagram and TikTok and all that.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking, it's like, now for, how can I put this? For the first episodes, like pilot episodes, I usually give that kind of a pass. So pretty much from like Season 2 on to 7, for me, it's about 50-50. Right. Some episodes I think were meh, fine, they're all right, not for me. And then, episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6 were amazing. Love those episodes. 2 and the rest of them, man. It because some people were saying like, oh, this is just 90210, but in space. So this is kind of teen drama. It kind of is. I mean, you're going to have that when you have a bunch of basically college age students and college age people, yeah, it's going to be that way sometimes. But it did also have some episodes where it's like, okay, yeah, this is just Star Trek, but in nowadays.
I also want to point out
it's not Next Generation, it's not DS9, it's its own thing. If you go else. Just rewatch those old episodes.
I have actually talked about I've talked about it in great detail. The show is not supposed to be like other Star Trek shows. That's the whole point of the series. So
because also I was just on TikTok, Instagram, I was listening to some of the interviews with some of the other cast members. A lot of them are actually much younger than us. And some of them were saying, like, yeah, I never got into Trek because it's just kind of was an old show. And I was like, that's the exact same way I feel about the original series. I never got into the original series.
Exactly. People that watched Next Generation didn't really care for the original series. Yeah. And people that watched stuff like Enterprise may not have watched Next Generation. So there is a generational jump with each 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, because I remember when I actually got into the show because my mom was watching it, and it was a Next Generation episode. Don't remember which one. I was looking at that. I was like, "Oh, this is that." Oh, for one, I saw Brent Spiner up there. Oh, it's the guy from Night Court. What is this? I was like 8 years old. I was like, "What is this?" Oh, this is Star Trek. Oh, Star Trek. Oh, because I'm thinking it's like the original series. Not for me. Right. It's too campy and too corny for me. But she made me lay down on the couch with her and watch it. Mm. The next day I had to ask, okay, what's that Star Trek show coming?
Jake, you had your hand raised as well.
I just wanted to bring up something. We were just a small thing. We were talking about Superman and Lois earlier. The pilot premiered 5 years ago today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I just saw that go across my Facebook there, and you're muted. It's pretty crazy that it's been that long.
Crazy.
5 years. I will say this: if anybody's been sitting around waiting for a time to watch a show, or you're bored and you're in like a lull, watch Superman and Lois. You will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed.
I like Star Wars.
I like Turtles.
All right. Next subject before we jump into our main one is AMC Entertainment shares tumble to new low on 10% drop in attendance during fourth quarter. So
I blame Nicole Kidman. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm going to use Just Read here to cut out the ads.
I don't care.
Shares in top exhibitor AMC Entertainment tumbled 3% to a multi-year low of 1.16 on Monday after the company reported a 10% drop in attendance during the October to December quarter. Total revenue slipped a fraction to $1.288 billion in the period ended December 31, while net losses per share eased 25 cents for 35 cents in the year to quarter. Top to bottom line numbers exceeded Wall Street's analysis consensus expectations, meaning that even though this happened, it was something that they had not expected. This exceeded. Attendance in the quarter totaled a bit more than 56.3 million. For full year, it fell 2% to 219.4 million. Let's see. On a full year bias, North American box office revenue for the full year of 2025 inched up 1.5% over 2025. So you have to read to the bottom of these articles because the headlines are usually sensational. So the box office was actually up 1.5% over 2024. AMC revenue climbed 5%, even though there was let's scroll back up here, a 10% attendance drop. But if you look down here, their money went up. CEO Adam Aaron said that last year marked another important step forward for AMC. The North American box office improved modestly year over year, rising approximately 1.5%, while AMC once again outperformed, growing revenue by 4.6%. So all of this sounds like, oh, wow, theaters are actually seeing some upward momentum. But what does the headline say? Oh, AMC Entertainment shares tumbled a new low on 10% attendance drop in Q4.
Because negativity gets clicks, Eric. Come on now.
Why did they not say AMC Entertainment's net profits go up 4.6% in Q4?
That's too complicated for people.
I just thought this was funny. People were sending this to me, and I'm like, did you read the article?
And they went, no.
They're making more money. They're seeing less people, but they're making more money. And a lot of that has to do with Like the cost of tickets in some places are probably up. Things like popcorn buckets, all of those popcorn buckets they were selling over the year. People are coming in and buying them. They make a lot of money off of that. Things are just generally, a lot of theaters are offering food options. Like I would say my theater, the one that I go to locally, is not a big theater. It only has 10 actual theaters in it. It's not a big theater. They're all modestly sized, but they have a full menu. And a lot of these AMCs are switching over to large full menus inside of some of their locations. So they're making more money overall, even if they're seeing less people show up.
Man, I remember the days where like a movie ticket would cost me like $7.50.
Here,
I remember being like, "Woof!"
Hey,
I
guess
can
what?
on
My
a good
theater
day.
still has cheap tickets.
Oh, you lucky!
food was
I
always
remember-
not expensive.
Theaters.
I could spend $11 for popcorn and a ticket, and I'm like, man, those were the days.
Same.
I'm looking here. Hold on, let me see.
Eric, don't piss me off. Don't show those different price comparisons.
No, I just want to look
I
and see how
remember
much
buying
they
us in
are.
theaters.
My theater.
Sorry, good.
I talked about it before when it started happening, but my theater's been doing they've remodeled everything. They've changed everything. They basically like blew it up and started fresh. And I went back for my first movie since they had like finished half of it. It is so nice. We got our like reclining seats. We have our tables. They redid the entire bathroom, and I almost fell asleep while watching Goat this week, and not because it was a bad movie, but the seats were so goddamn comfy. Like I'm basically like laying down, like while watching this incredible movie, and I was like, oh, I gotta watch this movie.
Tickets at my theater now are $10 a person, so they're still
not too
under.
bad.
It's like $10 is good.
I feel like those recliner seats that they add into a lot of theaters are, I don't know, maybe I'm just speaking for myself here. I personally don't really care for those that much because they invite, I don't know, maybe I'm blowing this way out of proportion, but I was talking about this with some friends of ours. I just think I don't know, like I don't want to fall asleep in a comfy chair during a movie I'm watching.
Sure, yeah.
I'm paying for. And I don't know. I guess there's something a little more. What's the word?
Remember when they were proposing beds?
This feels weird to say, but like authentic in nature in those theaters. Like
The classical vibe.
yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah, I
and
get
yeah,
that.
Omega. I do remember when they were doing that. It's a dumb idea.
Yeah, so no,
About as dumb
people
of an
ain't gonna
idea.
be watching the movie.
About as dumb of an about as dumb of an idea as like them putting child's playgrounds in the theaters off to one side. They were posting
Yeah.
that for a while too, which is just as stupid.
Before we move in, one more small thing.
Move in.
Move into the second hour of topics.
Oh, kidding.
The big topics. Paramount. I'm not going to bring up an article on this. I just want to mention it.
I just said don't piss me off.
Paramount will not give up. They keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. Now they've got more talks happening, basically because they're trying to up the money. But Netflix is telling them you're still not offering a better deal than we are. And that's true. Netflix still has the better offer on the table. At this point,
Tony. Thank you, Tony. That's what I'm trying to say.
that's okay. At this point, though, Netflix is going to have to do something. I don't know what it is, but they have to throw something else on the grill. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe upping the... Netflix has the money. They could up the money. They have the money. Netflix has a lot of money.
Someone needs to have the talk with Paramount.
This is literally the worst breakup in the history of like film companies, even though the companies were never going out. Like, it's like, dude, he's giving you the friend zone. Take the hint.
I actually have a really good suggestion. Don't sell Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe possibly just keep Warner Brothers as a separate studio.
And I'm with you.
You had record profits last year. You're moving in the right direction. Why are we doing this? Why
I'm
are we
with you,
selling Warner
dude, but
Brothers?
like they're in the escort business now, dude. They are going on the street and like pulling the skirt and be like
I've said this once. I've said it 50 times. Last year was the first really good year they've had in a while. Don't sell yet.
Yes, I still think Netflix ultimately wins. I could be wrong. Well, I'll say this. It depends on whether or not the government approves it, but I think Netflix is still the deal that obviously Paramount or that Warner Brothers wants. We know most of the people over at Warner Brothers wants to work with Netflix. Most of them do not want to work with Paramount because look at what's happening with Paramount on the inside of Paramount's business right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is the thing, Naruto. Member for 47 months. Thank you so much. Y'all are about to be busy. Starting next week, TV is about to be packed for like 2 months. I know.
Oh shit! Yeah,
It's going to be absolutely fucking bonkers.
Hey, what's coming out?
Everything.
Daredevil,
Invincible.
Oh,
The Boys.
Monarch, The
Oh,
Boys.
I
I'm thinking it's all those other like. No, because I'm thinking it's all
Gloria.
those like DC shows that y'all been watching. I was like, I don't really care
I
about.
didn't
them.
see him making like,
actual
oh
stuff. I'm
shit.
interested
Oh shit.
Mhm. Yep.
Luckily, I'm only covering like 2 out of those 5 shows next month. I'm like, phew.
Yeah, I'm only covering like on my own. It'll probably be only one of them. But
All right. So before we move into the second hour and jump on these topics, we are 2 out of 5 super chats. Omega, they're blocking the channel. They're basically shadow banning me,
say
and
the
I need
super
everyone's
line,
help.
man,
So.
come on.
Guys,
YouTube is killing this chat.
Due to the candid conversations that we have about modern media.
Yeah. So anyway, we're 2 out of 5. Any tier super chats, $1 helps get us towards that goal. So thank you guys so much.
What happened?
Yeah. What happened?
I said, are we still planning for bonus?
Yeah. The
Oh,
bonus
I
is
think
still
they're
happening.
Ronin.
Ronan might have to leave before that, and if he does, he's just going to give his right away. So.
Yeah.
Stagger with the 499 super chat. We're now 3 out of 5. March 20th will be the day that shakes up the entertainment industry, regardless of the outcome we get. Yeah, I mean,
Is that when the sale goes, or when
that's
the final
when they
thing?
have to make a decision. Yeah, they have to make a decision
Okay.
by the 20th. I will-
420 or 320, whatever.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Blue pill, red pill.
I don't think either. Okay, so this is going to be my big, like, I'm picking my side, and I'm going to give you the reasons why. First of all, Paramount is disgusting. That company is doing everything antithetical they can to every part of their business. They're fucking over Avatar. They're fucking over their news companies. All of that's running to the ground. Barry Weiss is probably going to be outed from there soon because they cannot. Their news division is completely failing. Just every problem under the sun. Netflix would not be my first choice for any sale outside of Paramount, except it is those two. It's Paramount and Netflix. So I'm picking Netflix because Ted Sarandos is committing on record multiple times a 45-day window for their theatrical releases. 45-day window. I don't give a fuck about any of the other shit. If you're going to give movies a 45-day window, I am in on it. Plus, this is the other part. Paramount already has a bunch of IPs, which means when they put movies out under WB, they're going to be up against Paramount movies. Netflix does not have a theatrical division yet. So
and somehow like Netflix is the more like respectable company in all of this in a weird way. Like in this day and age, more people know the word Netflix than they know the word Paramount, which is crazy because Paramount has been around way longer than Netflix.
Yep.
But everyone knows what Netflix is. Like everyone uses Netflix on the daily basis. I don't know a single soul outside of a few have Paramount Plus. Who
I
the
mean,
fuck has
even
Paramount Plus?
Omega, who loves Star Trek, doesn't have Paramount Plus.
Like
Actually,
again,
I do.
like I know some people who have it, but like on a global scale, I would say like if you ask 10 people on a street to name their favorite streaming service,
It's going to be YouTube or Netflix.
it's gonna be Netflix, Hulu, it's gonna be those. They're not naming Paramount.
And maybe Disney Plus. Maybe
What's
Disney
funny,
Plus.
Derek,
Yeah.
is 7 of those 10 people will probably go, "What's Paramount Plus?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Paramount Plus through Amazon Prime, and the only reason I have it is to watch Star Trek reruns.
And then as soon as Star Trek is gone, or you might like cancel it and come back again later, right?
no, I just watch the reruns. That's it.
One of the stupid things about a lot of their streaming services is that with the prices and everything now, and like the way that they're bundling all their stuff, it's like this is basically the same price as we used to pay for cable back in the day. Only difference is you can pay for, or you can pay
Oh,
watch.
it's really bad. Like,
So
I was
bad.
looking the other day and I'm like, everything's trying to get you to bundle now because they're losing subscribers. The streaming bubble is literally at its threshold right now. It's like I said, it was going to burst a couple of years ago. I think the tumble has already begun. It hasn't completely bursted yet, but it's getting there. Like, it's literally to the point where when I log into Apple TV, it says bundle with Peacock, or when I log into Disney Plus, it says bundle with Hulu. Like, everyone
Amazon
is trying to
does the
bundle.
same thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like whenever you log into Disney, it's like, hey, you know, get this Hulu add-on for this many more bucks. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah. All right, we have another super chat here. Just popped up from Cody. Thank you, Cody. $5 super chat. Have you heard about the Xbox stuff? Let me read off what I have over here. So Phil Spencer has retired and as the head of Microsoft Gaming. I think it's Asha Sharma is the new one. It says here most people are skeptical, and there's been a lot of hostility as well, claiming she lacks gaming industry experience and accusing Microsoft of non-gaming justification hires. Now, this is from The Verge. On X, people are accusing her of using AI bots for official responses, basically saying Microsoft isn't even serious when engaging with the communities. Thoughts on this?
With that stuff, I'm not sure because I remember hearing something saying that I think she was actually part of the the new head of Xbox was also the head of Microsoft AI, but she was saying something like, we're not gonna use AI to create games. That's a total, if you're creating art, that has to be a human made thing or something like that.
Yep. Which, I mean,
But
I really don't feel like anyone should have to tell you that, but anyway.
But what my thing is, good. They freaking deserve it. Because here's why.
The Game Pass is a disaster. They've hyped it up so much. It's crazy.
There's nothing on Game Pass. What else I was about to say? Well, for one thing, the original Xbox was supposed to be the second Dreamcast, but they screwed over Sega with the licensing or something. Because even it was, I think, it was one of the old Sega developers who made one of the older games was basically saying like, our lawyers were confused on what happened. Yep. So they screwed over Sega because the original Xbox was supposed to be the second Dreamcast, and also the Don Matrick was the beginning of the end of that freaking company when they made the Xbox One, going from the 360 to the Xbox One. And how they had the whole TV sports press conference, that was the beginning of the end.
And out of those 3 generations of Xbox, didn't the Xbox One have the worst sales? I think it did.
Because how you go Xbox 360, you think they'll go like 720 or maybe go with the whole circle thing because you have it right there. No, Xbox One. So you're going back to the first Xbox. No, it's stupid. It's freaking stupid. Well, you can watch TV on Xbox. Shut up.
See, at least Sony stayed in numerical order, and
it was so confusing. Yeah. And then we have there's the Xbox. What was it, like the Series X, and then the Xbox X? No, Xbox One X, and all that stuff. Yeah. People like us who are into gaming, I have been following gaming since I've been 4 years old. I'm 44 now. Damn. I was confused. Shut up. No, I was confused on what's the next Xbox was. Me. How do you think grandma down the road who just was buying games for little Tommy? How do you think how she's going to be confused about this shit?
Grandma down the road probably didn't even know what she had for breakfast.
All right, we have one more super chat. Go ahead, finish.
I was just saying, no, they deserve all of it.
Like, I'm in my 30s, and I keep hearing like this is the new Xbox thing, but it's this over here. It's like Series X, Pro, S, XS. It's like, what the hell am I hearing here? Like, and what's the funny thing too is talking about watching like TV on your Xbox now. Who remembers when some of the first PS2s come out and you could play DVDs on those things? Mm-hmm. Good times, right?
Yeah. Well, not really, because it ended the Dreamcast, and Dreamcast is my favorite because it didn't release with a damn DVD player.
I say that like with a little bit of hindsight. I love the Dreamcast so much.
Here we go. Hashtag restore the Arrowverse. Staggervore here, the 19 super chat says Netflix will also own a small majority of the CW. With Grant Gustin coming back, The Flash returns.
Eric, sounds like you're down in some copium there.
I mean, back when all those shows ended, everyone was like adding Netflix to save like Legends of Tomorrow and Batwoman, and yeah, that would have been nice, but nope.
So if you could bring back, like, have Daredevil Born Again is kind of the resurgence of the Netflix shows on Disney Plus. If you could bring back one CW Arrowverse show to Netflix to restart that particular universe, which one would it be?
You know what I'll say? I'm gonna say The Flash, just because, just like Daredevil, Flash is a good vehicle to bring back everybody else, right? Like you could do The Flash, he comes back, it's his normal season. Fire Eric Wallace, don't let him come back, right? But it's a normal season, it's just regular Flash, and then we're bringing back Batwoman for like half the season or something. There's the Legends. There's Stephen Amell's back. That has always been the best. The best show where anyone could appear on the Flash, and it works within their show.
And maybe we'll give David Ramsey a spinoff finally.
I'm going to go off on a limb and say just bring back an Arrowverse adjacent show like Gotham Knights. Bring Gotham Knights back.
Like while those shows were airing, I really wanted like an Arrowverse anthology series,
right?
Where each episode, or even just do movies, like give me animated movies or something where we could just tell these independent stories in the Arrowverse.
There was supposed to be some sort of Arrowverse movie-length feature thing released in theaters at one point. I thought that Guggenheim and Company were working on, around the Crisis days.
I know that Jake would want to bring back Batwoman, right? Isn't that the one you would bring back from the Arrowverse?
Ruby Rose.
It's not my least favorite, I'll say that.
What about Legends of Tomorrow?
I'd be fine with bringing back the Legends as long as, for a show called DC's Legends of Tomorrow, it's astonishing how little DC content was in the later seasons. So,
I'd bring back any of those shows that weren't Naomi. I will take any of them.
That's what I was getting at when I said Batwoman wasn't my least favorite.
All right, so before we move on, did we dodge a bullet? If that was the level of comic book care we're going to get from Naomi, that we would get from the New Gods, which is essentially what was traded off there.
You remember when Naomi and Superman and Lois were premiered on the same night,
and people thought, "Oh, this is going to be a crossover thing." Yeah.
Nope.
Missed opportunity. They should have just put Naomi if you're going to leave the Arrowverse separate from Superman and Lois, just put Naomi on Superman's Earth and make her a character over there. Missed opportunity.
Question for the Arrowverse heads, the keepers of the Arrowverse. Did they? I remember there was the talks of doing a spin-off of Arrow with Captain McNamara in the suit and all that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did they shoot a pilot?
They had a backdoor pilot in Arrow's last season.
Yeah, they stuck the backdoor pilot in the middle of the final season of Arrow.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were gonna do that series, but the weird thing is they said they weren't gonna do it because of COVID, but waited a year into the pandemic to announce that they weren't.
Yeah.
I don't know why they here's the weird thing. I don't know why they didn't. That I think that would have been a better option than Naomi.
Yeah.
And a lot of those other shows.
It's a limited series.
Arrow had the built-in audience, right? That pilot, you can like or hate that pilot. I know it was a mix depending on who you were, but it got views. It did very well. A lot of people tuned in to see what the future of Arrow was. It did well for them. Yeah. Better than a lot of the other backdoor pilots. Blew away the Black Lightning one. Already had that establishedness that Naomi just didn't have. No one knew who the fuck Naomi was. No one checked in for Naomi. And even if it was just for one season, it was objectively the better choice. It was objectively the better option out of those two.
Yeah. Because I remember it announced shows that got announced to be worked on right around the time when Crisis was airing. You had Superman and Lois that they said they were working on, Green Arrow and the Canaries we thought was going to get greenlit because of that backdoor pilot happening.
Yeah.
And even if it would have only been a limited series, just one 13-episode season, because they say that the thing that's going to happen, the thing that they're trying to avoid, they say that it's in 2041, so like you could maybe argue what would be the point of the show after that's resolved.
Mhm.
So maybe then it could only just work as a limited series, but even then they could have just had that limited series to tie up some loose ends that Arrow left untied and forever remained untied.
Yeah.
Ted says the Arrow backdoor pilot was cool. Yeah, I know some people really like the idea. You know,
I mean,
I certainly would have liked to see more of Black Canary for sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? At least one backdoor pilot in Arrow led to a TV show.
I have my issues with Mia. Like, she wasn't my favorite character, but I do guarantee I think I would have liked Mia a lot more if the show got picked up. Like, I think if she would have had the spotlight to grow as a character, and again, I think kind of the point is you're not supposed to fully like her. Like, she has to grow into her own first.
William is still missing Dalton.
And don't get me fucking started. I will go down this rabbit
I'm gonna
hole.
get mad if we start talking about this again.
They brought Mia back for the episode. They gave them the perfect opportunity to just be like, "Oh, I found him. He's okay. We're back at our home." But no, they left it open because like Eric Wallace is like, "Well, we'll
even
see
though
what
they
happens."
knew it was not going anywhere,
Right.
Like they knew that.
I mean, and if you didn't want to do that, you could have had Kat on a Seasons of Legends and wrapped it up there. You could have had her return in the same episode Steven did, and then do something about it there, but they just never did.
Yep.
Eric Wallace and we can move on. But in that final season, he kept like leaving characters open because he thought he was going to come back. Like they kept Wally open, they kept Mia open, they kept Dreamer open. Why? That was Eric. That was it. That was the final chance to wrap up any characters.
Mhm.
I can imagine Darren watching that and be like, "You fucked up."
All right.
Oh God! Like I'll just say this, and then we'll move on. I promise. Gotham Knights was terrible, but it was not my least favorite DC TV show that year.
We're not gonna move on because I have another question,
Hell yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Eric, and you guys as well, because you guys have always told me watch it. I believe in cross like platform storytelling. Like I feel like okay, if all these pilots got canned, if these shows got canned, they could have continued these stories in another format, and I think fans would have flocked to that format. I always go to the the audiobook or scripted podcast stuff. It's like, all right, make a show with the Green Arrow and the Canaries. You bring Catherine and the whole gang, and you put them in, and you give them scripts. You don't have to pay them that much because you're not shooting for 18 months in there. You're just going a few days out of half a year. And I don't know, would you guys have followed them to listen to an audio drama if you couldn't watch the show? If it was like permanently gone, but you'd be like, all right, we can't see them, but we could hear them and see what would have happened with these characters.
I'm not sure I get the question.
Like if this stuff didn't go forward, right? There was no show, no spin-offs, but we got these scripted podcasts that were continuation of these characters. Would you have gone along with it? Be like, no, just let it rest.
I would have consumed anything they made in the future.
Okay.
I think
I
the
would have
issue
preferred-
is. I think the issue is that
What?
Does he
Your
know
voice
it now?
changed.
Eric, when did Barry White take over your microphone?
What's wrong with my mic? Hold on, let me look at it.
I'm like fucking Grodd.
Is anyone else hearing Mr. T, or is it just me?
No, that's Barry White.
Oh, the
Get my Barry White on, baby.
I thought I was hitting the mute. I hit the change on accident.
I
Sorry.
have to go back and re-listen to that.
My everything.
I hit the thing. I thought I was muting the other channel. It was the voice changer.
Eric, I was gonna say,
Okay.
it's like you're trying to seduce somebody in that voice.
This might be a hot take, but I would say the vast majority of people that watch the Arrowverse shows were not actual comic book fans.
No.
Oh,
So I don't know if they would have followed the media beyond the TV show. To be
well, a
honest.
lot of
Okay.
them, they're the only versions, like for a large chunk of people that I know that are not fans, the only versions of those characters of like Green Arrow and the Flash that they know are the TV ones.
Yeah.
Supergirl, the Atom, White Canary, Firestorm. Hell, some people, that's the only Superman they watch is the one.
I would say there are people out there who actively only know about superheroes through the Arrowverse.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
I
fast.
mean, it's what got me like really into comic, or I guess not comic books, but like the like comic book genre, if you will. Like, I was raised on stuff like Justice League and you know, like Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but like this is what got me into the genre. Like, I watched the MCU because of the Arrowverse, because I just wanted more superhero content, and
and you had a connected verse.
and so many characters. Like, I got into Flash and Green Arrow and Supergirl and Captain Cold. Like these characters that I bet many people never would have been introduced to. Characters that had never been put to screen ever was put to screen because of these shows, and I think that alone should be a testament to their legacy. Like, even if they weren't the best, like, they taught characters who fucking, like, Max Mercury is. Are we ever going to see Max Mercury in live action again? Probably not, but they did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, there were a lot of people who, you know, you would argue that the definitive versions of those characters in live action are their Arrowverse ones, like the ones that have had multiple versions. Yep. And then you have some characters who debuted on the Arrowverse rather poorly, and are still lacking good live action adaptations, even with things that have come out since then. So hopefully some of those characters will get the.
I hate to end the Arrowverse chat, but we're seeing people detaching from the conversation, so we need to move on to stuff that people are watching currently. So, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the Arrowverse chat. I do. All right, so we're going to jump into the main topics here. This happened today, and we have some Deathstroke stuff to talk about. So this was back in 2024. It says James Gunn.
News.
No. We're going to get to it. So back in 2024, James Gunn told Joe Manganiello, to move on from playing Deathstroke again. Let it go. Now this was in February of 2024. Now the reason why I'm even bringing this up, and the reason why we're talking about it, is this was posted on Instagram from Joe. And it says, "You better not be wasting my time."
Oh my fucking god. And it's the 2-year anniversary for when that article dropped.
So a lot of people are saying this means Deathstroke is coming to the DCU.
Insert the X-Files team.
Now,
I think I know what this means.
Did we just both start whistling that? Sorry.
Yes.
I think this is confirmation that James Gunn's DCU is officially dead. They are no longer moving forward. And Zack Snyder is actually confirmed to be back for about 10 more movies over at DC Studios. So,
Darren, I hate to debunk that theory, but I think what this actually means is that Joe Manganiello is going to return as Flash Thompson for the 4th Raimi Spider-Man film that we've been waiting for.
This might get removed from the stream, but I feel like we should probably take a look at the teaser for Deathstroke from the DCEU.
Which one?
The one where he's coming out of the Flying Fox.
Here we go. No, this one here.
Oh, that.
All right, so.
Yeah, this is the Zack Snyder one. Yeah.
That's definitely. Right, no, that's definitely the Zach one, because in the stupid Whedon one, he goes, "Shouldn't we have a league of our own?"
Da.
Yeah, in this one, like, it would have led directly into Affleck's Batman movie.
Can I ask it, Derek? Like, would we be into it? Personally, I would.
Derek?
I would. Derek.
Like Ben's movie or what?
Like Jill returning.
Yeah. So like, what do we? So look, I don't think this means he's coming back as Deathstroke. Like, I don't think that's the case. I think he was simply quoting something from the scene, and hashtag Zack Snyder or whatever. That's what I think is going on.
Yeah, that's just it. People take these scenes and take them way too.
But let's just say for fun, if he came back as Deathstroke, is that another nail in the coffin for James Gunn's like bringing back people from the DCEU? Is it just like
that one
more
I'm
of that again?
Completely fine with, because we didn't actually see him, right?
Saw him for 5 minutes.
That one is completely fine. And like my problem with what they like mainly did with like Peacemaker wasn't that we brought John Cena back as Peacemaker. My issue is we brought over storylines from the established DC universe.
Right.
And you had to be like if this season of Peacemaker was not canon whatsoever, if it was called like Peacemaker New Gen or like something else, like a completely different thing, didn't carry over storylines whatsoever, I would have really no issues. I just don't like that you have to watch Suicide Squad and like the Suicide Squad and season 1 of Peacemaker all to kind of like get what's going on in this new season. Like that should not be a thing. Like you should not have to watch the previous DC universe to understand the current DC universe. I think that's a bad choice.
Especially when Gunn has been preaching that each of his projects, like he wants each DCU project to work in its own in a vacuum.
Yep.
So no Deathstroke storyline, or okay?
I mean,
Like,
we didn't really get enough of him to get much of a storyline.
I mean, they need a league of their own, right?
If they want to recast
storyline, he was in one scene at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
if they
like
brought him back, I'd be like, sure, let's see it.
He's passionate about it.
Like all you saw of him outside from this was one scene in the Nightmare World at the end of the Snyder Cut, and that's it.
Oh, the reach around scene. Yeah.
Same with like
I love how that's what that's known for now, the reach around scene.
And again, like Jason Momoa had been preaching to the heavens that he wanted to be Lobo.
Yeah.
Clearly, Joe wants to play Deathstroke, and it's just like, and like I remember him like breaking down the like in the scenes from Zach's cut is like that he said like there's detail in the costumes that if you look closely, he specifically put because he's a hardcore fan. He was like, I wanted to like. If I was never gonna play him again, like I wanted to put this much detail into the stuff so you know there's stuff from the comics one. I was like, all right, if he's this passionate about it, and this DCU, DC Studios needs a Deathstroke, why not? Why not pick him up? Why not bring him in and whatnot? Like again, a lot of the zealots of the Snyder cult, they might get the panties in a bunch, but that's the hard reality. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
Things move on, things change. It's not gonna always be the same, and that goes for every franchise we all love and care about.
I think they've already done the more complicated version of this, and that's bringing back Waller. Like Waller has appeared across many movies, have had these mini storylines, and she's come back, and I'm okay with that one as well because that's a character that you can kind of like just place back in without having to know any previous thing. Just know, oh yeah, she's Amanda Waller. She's doing some fucked up shit again, and it doesn't. I don't think it really, outside of maybe what the show does. I don't know. Like I know they're doing like a whole, if the show's even still happening, like a whole like court storyline, her on trial, whatever. I'd prefer you didn't do that, but just on a basis, I was okay with Amanda Waller like reprising her role. And this is even like a lesser version of that. So, if he wants to.
And you know what? He could do his own movie if he wanted, because there's always been the talks of he had like ideas for film, and like that could be an Elseworld story. Just focus on Deathstroke and just call him Deathstroke the Terminator.
Sure.
And go full on like
it doesn't
assassin.
even have to be DCU canon. Yeah, just do like a little Elseworld on its own. No, like it's not DCEU or DCU. It's just
kind of like the Joker. Kind of what they did with the Joker.
Hopefully better though.
Hopefully way better. But no, there's that supposed Deathstroke Bane movie.
That's what I have Fetman here call that out. Yeah.
So like maybe they could retool a few things together and make something out of that.
Did anyone see the DC animated movie regarding Deathstroke?
Oh yeah,
the one with Michael Chiklis. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Was that CWC?
What is
that one?
I think so.
Like Knights and something.
Yeah. I liked it.
Knights and Dragons.
Ted 2 of 25 with the $2 super chat says Arkham Origins got me into Deathstroke.
That was the one made my first impression on, because I think that was that
was the case for
that sequence that was from Tim Miller, right? The whole fight sequence where it's like one shot.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was like. Ooh, that's true. All right, I'm intrigued.
Oh, the one. Are you talking about the cinematic sequence where
yes,
it's like them in the freight yard, and then you see Deadshot looking at them?
Yeah.
Fun fact. Sorry, I just had to talk about this because I did go over this in one of my secrets videos. If you go to the exact spot on the Arkham Origins map, you can find the spot where Deadshot was overlooking Batman and Deathstroke in that CGI trailer. So, fun fact for you there.
Short Car said I'd rather get Manu Bennett back.
It's my personal favorite Deathstroke that we've gotten.
I mean,
Not just saying that
obviously,
because I met
yeah,
him.
but
Who
I
plays?
mean, I actually don't know if I agree. Like, he's
Right.
my favorite Deathstroke easily, but like, I probably would prefer someone that just hasn't done it yet, or like you can have a fresh take on the character. Like, you're not beating what you did in Arrow season 2. Like, I
Right.
think whatever you did
That's
in
just
that
too good.
a movie. I mean, it was a character that was built up for 2 entire seasons.
Right.
You know who people liked also was the
Yeah.
guy from Titans.
Azai Morales was
Yeah.
probably,
Yeah,
Ron Perlman.
he was probably the best part of that show. That
Yeah.
show was
Casting
pretty
was good.
shit, but Azai Morales was good as Titans, but I just could not buy his beef with Dick Grayson in that show.
I didn't like. I thought his suit was cool. I thought the actor was cool. I did not like his version of the character though. I couldn't.
Anthony here, member for 65 months. Thank you, Anthony. Says if James is smart, the DCU Flash should be a TV show. Do we agree with that?
I would even go a step further and say an animated TV show. Because I think Flash's true visual potential lies in animation.
I'd go animated movie potentially. I
saw
saw.
you hesitate there with that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to do. But I just saw. I just talked about this on my stream. Has anyone watched Goat yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
There is a scene. Watch Goat.
Mhm.
But for the main reason, it's like it's a good movie. Besides this, but there is a scene in that movie where I got done watching that scene and I said I need an animated Flash movie. There is a scene where a character runs, where I'm like I need, because like that's a movie that's in the like Spider-Verse, like Ninja Turtles kind of art style. I was like, if I could get Spider-Verse but Flash, I'd lose my mind, because it looks so good in that style. I would kill for something of
What
that.
do you think
I've been
about a
saying
Spider-Verse or a Flashverse movie made by the people that made Spider-Verse?
Yeah,
I've been saying that they should do a Flash animated show with the animation style from Arcane.
That'd be kind of interesting.
For anybody
All right.
who watches Arcane.
So, what is Omega eating? I don't know. He's off camera now, so I have no idea what it is.
I just made some hot dogs. I got some vanilla.
He warmed them,
Yeah,
LOL,
kidding.
and stood on business. There we go.
Oh, what?
Shout out
Slade
to
in that
Joe.
scene?
Yeah. All right, so we're going to get into our final topic of the stream, and then we're going to be doing our game before we wrap up.
The game.
So this one is kind of controversial. That's why I saved it for the last one.
Boy.
And it has to do with the BAFTAs. Did you guys see the drama around this?
Yep.
I haven't seen the
Yeah,
clip, but like I heard about this.
Regarding
Okay.
a certain word that got said?
Yes.
Heard
Yeah,
there
okay.
was drama. I didn't know exactly what happened.
Okay.
yeah. I've
So to
seen-
put this in perspective, the BAFTAs is essentially the Oscars for people in the UK. It's the British Academy Film Awards. Now, there was a racial slur that was heard during the ceremony with Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Linda, where they're presenting an award. The slur was shouted by a guest in the audience with Tourette's syndrome, specifically, collateral. There's a name for it. I'm sorry, I'll look it up here in a second. The one where you have tics where you say like offensive stuff.
Yeah.
John Davidson, who was president because his life story inspired the film Swear, the tics that led to the outbursts that are part of his neurological condition are involuntary. Now, the BBC broadcast included it, and this is why people have an issue with it. Even though the show was tape delayed, they left it in there and did not edit it out, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
That they didn't like mute, because in the clip, we're not going to watch the clip here, but in the clip, you could have muted it. It was very easy for them to mute that one section of the broadcast so that it wasn't played on video for everybody. I just don't understand.
Tourette's.
What is that?
Coprolalia, involuntary repetition of obscene words.
That's it.
Tourette's. Okay.
That's it. Yeah. So here's why there's even bigger backlash. So apparently somebody shouted "Free Palestine" and that was edited out. but the slurs were not edited out.
Yeah, a lot of these festivals, especially in Europe, have been like on a rampage of like censoring anything in protest of the genocide that's happening right now, and it's just like it's ironic that like, oh, that gets censored, but not this.
Right. That's my whole point. Is like, if you're going to censor something like that, then why did you leave
Can't
this
pick and choose.
in the broadcast? Right. So here's what it says. BAFTA Film Awards host Alan Cumming thanked the audience for their understanding after a series of audible outbursts from Tourette's campaigner John Davidson interrupted the ceremony. One incident saw Davidson shout out the N-word. Well, he did it twice, if you watch the clip, while Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were on stage. Yeah. Davidson, the inspiration for the BAFTA-nominated I Swear, was diagnosed with Tourette's at 25. His symptoms include tics and involuntary outbursts. This is what was said. You may have noticed some strong language in the background there. This can be part of how Tourette's syndrome shows up for some people as the film explores that experience, which is absolutely understandable if there is some sort of medical condition that somebody is experiencing. But the tape delay was so they could like make sure that stuff like this didn't make it into the live broadcast.
Yeah,
I didn't know Alan was hosting that.
Yeah, that's like. This is one of the more controversial, or like, not controversial. I mean, it is controversial, but like, this is one of the more
worst planned.
Like weird versions of this. I think could have happened because we're like 9 times out of 10 something like this happens. Is like, okay, it's very black and white. Okay, that's terrible. That's wrong.
Right.
But under this scenario, it is like, okay, there's a lot more nuances.
We're actually going to watch a clip from a woman who has it, and she's going to explain the situation, I think, a lot better than I could.
Yeah.
Explain this situation?
Well, explain what this... Because the problem is that people believe that this person did it because they are racist. And it's not really my position to defend or not defend this because I don't know enough about this medical. But I don't know. It's like in terms of the medical situation, I can't really speak on that.
I can't really speak on that either. But I used to watch Sweet Anita, which is this streamer on Twitch. She has Tourette syndrome, and if you watch her stream for any period of time, if you've seen her stream for any period of time, you'll get what's going on. Yeah, I can't really speak on that because I don't have that condition or anything.
Okay, but speak on the incident. Speak on the incident and like how you feel that it wasn't edited out and the whole scenario.
Yeah, the part that it wasn't edited out. Yeah, that's the producers are either incompetent, stupid, or racist.
Spineless.
And I would hope they would inform the presenters that like.
Oh, it's funny that you mentioned that. They did. Because they did not. Delroy Lindo says him and Michael B. Jordan did what we had to do to continue presenting at the BAFTAs after John Davidson shouted the N-word in an involuntary tick. He says he wishes someone from BAFTA spoke to us afterwards because they were not told beforehand.
That's either pure racism or incompetence. Either way. If the way the person just had to set it out, it's like, oh, I would be mad. It's like, hey, wait, what did they say? Oh, they had Tourette's. Yeah. Okay, my bad.
I'm gonna go pure racism and incompetence.
The fact that they didn't talk to them, like I think the fact that no one went to them to be like, this is unfortunate. I'm so sorry this happened. Whatever. I also think to go back to like Alan Cummings' thing, and I don't think it's Alan Cummings. I think they gave him a piece of paper what to say on stage. I'm not saying what he said. I'm not blaming him on this. Whatever. I'm also not a huge fan of the wording of his apology on stage or whatever because his wording of like whoever it may have offended. I'm like, I think this
it should have offended everybody to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like
almost as though this was neglected and left alone so it could blow up.
Okay, so we're going to watch a clip here. In this clip, there's a tiny segment from the award ceremony in the clip, so I just want to warn everybody that very briefly they're going to show what happened, and I do apologize, but it's in this clip. But this is a person who is it's a woman of color, not sure, I would say Black American, but I don't know where she is in the world. But she talks about it because she does have Tourette. She has the exact same condition that John has, and she's going to explain it here. I think this is important because I can't really talk on the condition, and she can. And so let's hear what she has to say.
Okay.
Ignore how I look right now. Critical attention. I am not feeling too great. However, there is something I have been asked to talk about.
Part of movie making.
And that is going to be the BAFTA situation. I have been seeing a bunch of outrage about it, people saying, oh, well, why would that even be in his vocabulary? He did that on purpose and all of this stuff, and that racism is to excuse. A very sad day for the Tourette syndrome community, especially for the ones that have coprolalia, because when you come online and you see thousands of people hating on your condition, specifically coprolalia, because that's something that is already very embarrassing for all of us. Not going to say that people can't be offended by the fact that somebody said the N-word as a tick.
I do want to say it's important that she does make the distinction here that people can still be offended by this. Because I think one of the things is that people would believe that when someone has a medical condition like this, that it just excuses it completely. And I think she's being very good about laying out, you know, sort of how this all works in this scenario, which I thought was very interesting.
And this should also act as like an eye opener for people who don't have that condition. It gives them a look into it.
Yes, yeah.
However, it's not something that somebody can control. It's not something that somebody wants to say. And I've been seeing a lot of people be like, well, he said it like when the crowd went silent. That is most likely when a tick is going to happen when you're in public, when you're in complete silence, or when you're trying not to say or do something. We must understand what coprolalia is. Coprolalia causes involuntary swearing and inappropriate tics. This can include the N-word, slurs, etc. I am a black person, and even I have the N-word tick and slurs as tics. This is something I don't see many talk about because of situations like this. Is it a disappointing thing? Shut up! That it happened in public in front of that entire crowd, specifically to Michael B. Jordan and the other presenter. I'm so sorry, I do not know his name. I wish I did, but no disrespect to him. I just am not too aware. Yes, it is a very unfortunate situation. Seeing so many people say that they would invoke violence against people with coprolalia if they can't control their
Jesus.
tics. That's ableism.
Okay, where are we at, people, on all this? Like, are we following along?
Listen, it is okay. So, yeah, I think it's incompetence of whoever planned this, and if the dude with Tourette syndrome was invited to be part of it, then like if you know what can potentially happen, and you have two black men presenting, you're literally playing Russian roulette.
Yeah.
On a, and again, it was recorded on a. Imagine if it was live.
And it was, but they had a delay though. That's the thing. They had a like 30-second delay on the feed. So.
And again, I feel bad that like he has to, that the guy, the Tourette syndrome person, had to go through that and like goes through that. But also, the two dudes who are presenting it, and they had to like do their best to be like, not go out and want to like. You know, again, they didn't know. They wouldn't even know who was saying it. For them, it was just someone in the audience.
Yelling it out. Yeah, they just heard somebody yelling it out.
No way to tell where it came from.
And the sad part is that they're probably used to that, and that's the fucking like tragedy. That like, man, it was like what a drop of the ball, and oof.
They did, by the way, just to clear it up a little bit, they did announce before the ceremony, from my understanding, that someone in the audience did have Tourette's. Like, they let the audience know that before.
They should have let the presenters know, though. They didn't tell any of the
presenters didn't know. Yeah, it feels like, I don't know, and maybe you guys can claim this as a reach. I don't know. Like, and I think I might have said this a few minutes ago, but it's almost as if they left something like this alone so it could blow up. Mess.
Fatman, I just want to say I have very comprehensive stuff set up. We're going to go through all of it before we end the stream. I would be very negligent not to, so we're going to include everything that I found about this before we wrap it up. But thank you.
And also, like, if they did warn the audience that there was someone in the audience with Tourette syndrome, I'm also, and I'm not trying to be cynicism, but like I'm also scared that like that would have let someone in the audience who was an actual asshole to do something similar to that, and then they'd be like, "Oh no, that person, that was the person who had Tourette syndrome." They're just like,
and then play it off, yeah.
Well, I want to say this. So, look, I don't think we're overanalyzing. I'm actually I'm doing as much as I can to educate everybody on this condition, as well as looking at it from a realistic standpoint, which is the person can still be included, but they should have edited out the slur. I think that's a very important distinction here.
Yeah, all of my comments aren't faulting the person who said the word with that condition.
No. Yeah,
Grace Randolph has been like, he should have been shipped out of there. He shouldn't have even been allowed. Like, this is not a radical solution. Like I'm saying, they had it on a delay. They should have just edited the slurs out of the delay, because now that video exists for people to mock forever on the internet.
Says the woman who's been making subtle, not so subtle racist comments for who knows how long now. Anyway,
this is also a big story. So like, even if we were over analyzing it, it's important too, because the entire internet is the biggest story right now.
Yeah, Nav, I've already said, sorry, I said it like 3 times. There was a delay on purpose. They were able to edit out things like Free Palestine,
but they didn't edit out.
Almost look, Nav, almost every live thing that we watch on TV has a delay on it.
Yeah,
almost all of it, specifically for stuff like this.
Look at
so somebody has nudity. Like there are a few things, like maybe the Super Bowl and things like that, where they had nip slips, and they're like, we have to start delaying live streams because things like this happen.
The only people who see it like live are those physically there.
The slap. Remember, like when I was watching that, like that was censored, and it wasn't until like Australia TV that I'm like, oh wow, I actually heard what was actually said. And again, I don't think I'm over analyzing stuff.
Yes.
And again, I'm not, I'm not going out and protesting right now. I'm just saying, like, man, the production dropped the ball right here.
That's what, like,
even though
this is the correct blame. This is where the blame lies, on the people that were producing this stream as it went out.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not on the guy with Tourette's. It's not on the presenters. It's not even on Alan Cumming. It is on the producers of the show who did not edit this out. Because if something were to happen, say for example, you are at a you're at a concert, and something awful happens, somebody gets hurt, and it's graphic or whatever. If that concert is being broadcast live, you can't predict that happening. So then that burden falls on the shoulders of the producers to make sure that doesn't go out, because you don't want that stuff on video for people to have online to utilize down the road. They could have edited the slur out.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel so bad, and I give props to Michael B. Jordan and Del Redland though, because if I was up there and I heard something like wetback or anything like that, oof, not on.
Yeah,
I was muted this entire time.
I was wondering why you hadn't said anything. I'm like, Omega's being quiet. What do you?
I was trying to say something, but y'all just kept talking. I was like, what?
My bad.
I was muted this entire time. I was muted.
Yeah, we're all having audio problems today. What the hell?
No, but basically, I was saying all that what could have solved a lot of this issue was like, hey, look, we had someone in the audience that had Tourette syndrome, so if you hear something off the wall or crazy like that, just let it go down. Tourette's, it's fine.
Right.
That would have been it. He would have said, he would have had his tick. They would have heard it. They would have just brushed it off instead of having it blow up like this. And also on the producers, the editors, and everyone else backstage that's in charge of that type of thing. That, like I said before, it's either incompetence, stupidity, or just pure racism, or a combination of the three,
or all of the above.
Yeah. So let's let her video finish, and then I'm going to read his statement, and then we'll wrap this up, because I think that's everything we have right now.
The fucked up thing that this happens, yes, but it's something that we can't control. Aggression in the brain being triggered. Shut up. And ultimately causing inappropriate tics. Michael B. Jordan and the other presenter have the right to be upset, especially if they were not aware. However, we need to understand and educate ourselves. Sitting on my videos, I constantly see people saying, oh my god, it's so funny. If I had cursing tics, I would be laughing all the time. But when people actually have cursing tics, then it's offensive and they're a bad person and this and that, the third. We need to do better. We need to educate ourselves better. This is not me saying that people don't have the right to be offended. However, you can't be offended when a disabled person is disabled. I might make a part 2 to this. There's a lot that I need to say, but...
There is a part 2, but it's a bit more comprehensive. We're just going to leave it like that. What are your thoughts?
Can I just point something out?
Yeah.
You notice how, like, throughout her video that she just did, all of her tics right there were varied. None of them were the same. They were different things. They came in different forms. So it's not just as simple as saying, oh, this must have been an underlying thought in someone's brain, and that's why that's the way the tic came out. Because, like, I do know somebody that has Tourette's, and that's not how it works.
Go.
No,
My expertise Now, my expertise in all this is just watching a lot of Sweet Anita streams. She really like explains like why she has to take, how they happen, and all that. And it's like it's not. It's just sometimes it's like even when it's the most inappropriate thing to say, that's what comes out.
Yeah,
it's completely involuntary.
Like way back in high school, I had a classmate I was in band with that had Tourette's, and they said some off the wall things before, you know, like some of which like was things that they were fully conscious of saying, but sometimes they had a tick every once in a while. And at first, you know, like we would hear it and we would go, "What did you just say?" Because it was either completely off or sometimes, you know, and it was sometimes a little bit offensive, but we didn't fault them for it. And if they were in a bad situation, because, you know, your masses, your general public, they're not going to be accommodating to that kind of thing. So we always kind of had to look out for that person.
Yeah. And I hope that this, obviously an awful situation that happened. I'm not trying to justify it whatsoever, but if there was a positive to take away from any of it, I do hope this situation can help educate people, because I used to know someone with Tourette's as well, but I'm no expert. No one here seems to be an expert in it, and it seems like there's a lot of people having to do research on this topic to talk about it on social media and for people to look into it.
Well, some people aren't doing any research. That's the problem. Some people are doing zero research.
They're just making
because they're idiots.
Yeah.
Pretending
So
to be
let's read his response here, and then we will wrap it up here. So this is John, the gentleman who was was there for I guess the movie that was based on his life and his situation. He says here, I appreciate the announcement into the auditorium in advance of recording, warning everyone that my takes are involuntary, are not a reflection of my personal beliefs. I was heartened by the round of applause that followed this announcement and felt welcomed and understood in an environment that would normally be impossible for me. In addition to the announcement by Alan Cumming, the BBC, and BAFTA, I can only add that I am and always have been deeply mortified if anyone considers my involuntary tics to be intentional or to carry any meaning. I've spent my life trying to support and empower the Tourette's community and to teach empathy, kindness, and understanding from others, and I will continue to do so. I choose to leave the auditorium early, I choose to leave the auditorium in the ceremony, and I was aware of my distress my tics were causing. So this happened. He decided to leave after it happened. He wanted to spread awareness about Tourette's to everyone that was present. Apparently, they did make an announcement, but this was to the auditorium, not to the presenters, I guess. So they didn't know anything about it. My other issue is that I think some people are saying he doesn't seem remorseful. I think he's in a weird spot. Let me explain why I think he's in a weird spot. If I were advocating for any community that I was a part of, and I start apologizing for things that are not controllable in my community, I'm sorry that my community has this thing that we don't have any control over, please forgive me, and blah, blah, blah. That's not advocation. That is concession. And I think the issue is if he concedes with anything more than I'm trying to bring visibility to this, and thank you everybody for understanding, if he concedes any more than that, it will just reinforce ableism. So I think he's in a really bad position. Yeah. Now, you can say maybe he should have said more and apologized directly. You can say that, but I think in his position, he saying that would have simply just put him in the spot to apologize for Tourette's forever. And I think that's the problem. It's a bad situation. Again, I believe the fault of this is on the producers of the BAFTA award. Like, I think 100%. It was 100% on their fault. But
he's just between a rock and a hard place.
We also don't know he didn't apologize to them directly, right?
Yeah, this was a public statement, yeah.
Oh, yes, this was a public statement, but, how do we not know? He could have messaged these people directly and had a conversation behind the scenes. We just don't know about it. We don't know what happens behind the scenes. This is just the public appearance of what he said. And I think this was a pretty good public apology, if you will, or statement that didn't demean the entire community.
Do you guys? I'm going to ask everybody. Would you consider this an apology for saying it?
Not an apology, but I do think you're right. Where it's it would probably maybe do more. And I hate saying this, but maybe more damage than good to do a general apology. I don't know. Maybe there's.
It's I'm sorry I'm in a wheelchair. I'm sorry I have no leg. You know what I mean? But look, the thing is, just like the video we watched a minute ago, you know, you can still be offended, and maybe one-on-one he could apologize to you directly. But I think
Sure.
apologizing for having Tourette's is not really. I don't think he's in a good spot to do that. Like, I don't think that's for the community that has Tourette's. I don't think it's a good position for him to
That
have.
shouldn't be what the apology is for.
Right.
I think there's a way of wording it that maybe I think would make people feel better. Like I'm sorry this happened or something like that. Like I'm sorry that I don't know. I
also want to point out he's had this since he's 25, and clearly he's much older now, right? Do you guys not believe that he's probably been saying stuff like this for like 30 years? He probably just doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't even phase him the way it phases everybody else, because it's simply something he has to deal with on a daily basis. The issue here isn't that it happened. The issue is that it's recorded on video forever. And now people are going to have that clip where they can keep using that to harass other black people on the internet and harass Michael B. Jordan and Delroy forever with that clip.
Yep. And you know what? All the racists are going to use that one to unite and say, look, this guy's one of us.
Well, they've already said it. People are already doing that.
Oh,
the thing is, so think about this. Let's flip it around for a second. Now he's going to get supported by racists. This guy is, whether he's racist or not, he's going to get supported by racists. So you have all of the racist people going after Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo. They've got that clip forever, and you have this guy who may or may not be racist. I don't know. I'm not going to say one way or the other. But now he's got racists supporting him. So it's like this whole situation is fucking crazy because the BAFTA producers did not do their job. But they got to catch Free Palestine. You got to take that out of the broadcast. But the end slur, leave it in. Just leave it in.
Yeah, because that'll get us clicks.
And this is a stain on the BAFTAs forever. Like this is something that it won't go away. This is their legacy now. I'm sorry to say, this is their legacy in a very similar way that the slap will always be connected to the Oscars. I know those are two completely different things. I don't mean to compare those things whatsoever, but like this is what people are going to be talking about in 10 years. It's like, oh, do you remember that one year this happened? And that's on them. That is on
most
them.
people I know when I mentioned this don't even know what BAFTA was. I was like, did you hear about what happened in BAFTA? What's BAFTA? And I had to explain to them like it's basically the Oscars for the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's no way for anybody involved in this. Look, the people that are actually to blame, we're never going to know. The producers, the people in that booth that were controlling that, we're never going to know who they are because this guy, John, Michael B. Jordan, and Delroy Lindo, and Alan Cumming as well, are going to be wrapped up in this for as long as people are talking about it on the internet. It's going to be what they're talking about the whole fucking time. And shame on BAFTA for leaving the fucking slur in their broadcast, because you have somebody there that you know has the possibility of doing it. It's been documented. It's literally in the movie that is being made about him. And you're like, oh, we're going to make sure that we don't have our fingers on the button to edit out any sort of slurs on a live broadcast. How fucking crazy. How fucking crazy.
They are.
Well, BAFTA hasn't apologized either. That's the other thing. I haven't seen any apology from them. Like, we dropped the ball. We should have been more aware. We should have been more, there to make sure we got it done. It's fucking, oh my God. I'm not going to start passing out forgiveness for anybody on this, because when you are, let me put it this way. We're in a situation where they have now created something that is going to follow these people around for the rest of their lives. And I think that there should be some blame. And yeah, mistakes happen, but mistakes can only be mistakes if you learn from it and you accept that you've made the mistake.
Once is a mistake, twice is a choice.
Yeah, you're right. BAFTA won't say sorry because it's called taking blame. You're absolutely right. All right. So with that being said, moving away from that controversial topic, Ronan, I know you said you might not be able to stay. So are you going to stick around, or are you going to head out before we get started with our game tonight? And Ronan is AFK. So
he's probably already gone.
I hope he didn't fall asleep at the keyboard.
What we're going to do to make this go quicker is I'm going to do what I usually do when we're running low on time. I will go at the end and give all of mine at once. So we're going to do Jake, Omega. Omega, do you know the game we're playing tonight?
The retcons, right?
Okay, yeah.
I've been trying so hard to remember any retcons that I actually cared about.
Well, it doesn't necessarily just have to be retcons. I kind of left it open to any sort of changes that happen that you're not necessarily happy with, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Ronan, are you there? I'm not going to put you on the wheel if you're not there.
Oh no, I'm still here.
Okay. Did you want to stick around and play or no?
Yeah, I'm gonna start heading out, folks.
Okay. So you want to drop it? Do you have any particular retcons you want to mention or anything like that?
So my choice. This is the weird one because it wasn't, and yet the way they handle it, I think could have been done way better. Okay. And I don't hate it like a lot of people hate it. People still go, "Oh, how good are they?" Rey Skywalker could have been handled differently and better. I've always said that, like, if they stuck with the whole thing of, Luke Skywalker, the Last Jedi title, even though he's not the Last Jedi, do this. Like, the Jedi know more, but there's something else. There's something new that out there to protect people, and they're called Skywalkers. The most poetic, beautiful way to, like, continue honoring them, but, like, all right, we're not, the family's over. But the good they did, that's how now we're gonna be. We're gonna be these warriors called Skywalkers, and you gotta walk a certain path. But yeah, as soon as the pause, they went back to that same planet, that same location. I was like, in 3, 2, 1, she's gonna say that name, and then the rest is history now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you sticking around, Ronan. Guys, make sure you go and check out Ronan's channel. Give him some
I'm working on a Star Wars theory, y'all.
Yeah, say, anything you want to shout out? That Star Wars theory you were saying?
I literally just did a live stream with Jake about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and my reaction's up now. So, but be on the lookout for more Star Wars stuff coming down the next few months.
I didn't want to spoil it, but I will say big thumbs up for the way that series was done. And
yeah,
phenomenal.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Talk to y'all later.
All right.
See you later, man.
All right, we're going to spin the wheel and see who gets to go first. Hopefully you guys don't pick any of my shit since I don't get to go till the end, but we'll see. Jake is up first.
Whoa.
Yeah. All right.
So, I don't know who all here is going to be familiar with this. I'm going with a retcon from a game series.
Okay.
And
well, Omega and I will probably know.
Maybe we'll see. This is a pretty big retcon that happened in the Tekken series, where one of the defining events in that series where Heihachi Mishima throws his 5-year-old son Kazuya off the cliff. Originally, that was stated as wanting to see if he had the power to live up to the Mishima name or not. Well, fast forward all the way to Tekken 7, and then you have Heihachi say, "Oh yeah, I threw him off the cliff to see whether or not he had the devil gene." And I thought that was just incredibly stupid because, if he does have the devil gene, then he's just gonna grow up hating you and rage war against you, which is ultimately what happens. But if he doesn't, well then good one, dude. You just killed your innocent son for no reason.
Yeah. That's what happens when you have a popular character. They're like, we have to figure out a way to make this work.
I just thought that was so damn stupid. I had a lot of issues with the later Tekken games, really just 7 and 8 from a plot standpoint, because it just made no fucking sense anymore.
All right, here we go.
That's my first one.
Oh. And we have Derek.
Okay. I kind of thought
I'm not going to be too big of a stickler on this. Just if you can explain why it is you have an issue with it, I'm not going to challenge you too much on retcon.
I kind of thought Jake was going to steal it. Thank God, because I don't have many examples on mine. I don't have that many retcons that piss me off. I'm going to say it.
Thinking, then I left it for you.
Okay, thank goodness. Now, what's weird about this one is I think in the end it was actually for the best of this IP that they ended up doing this retcon.
Yes.
But at the time, when Superman and Lois got disconnected from the Arrowverse, I wanted to jump out the window. I wanted to cry myself to sleep. That was such a hard, I think, adjustment to be like, this is a spin-off of this show, but not anymore, and we're doing our own thing. We're going over here. Now, again, ultimately, for the sake of the show, it was for the best. They got to do their own thing. They probably got to be a stronger series, but at the time, it was really unfortunate that we couldn't do any crossovers and we couldn't have all this established lore that we thought we were getting going into the show. So that'll be my number one.
All right. And here we go. Let's spin the wheel.
Oh, Darren, there you go. 2 in a row.
All right. What else I've written down here? You know what? I'm just gonna do like a general one. And like if one of you guys want to do like a more like specific one I'm naming from here, then you guys can totally do so. I'm just gonna say the X-Men universe in general, the whole thing. Again, Omega, you can choose a like specific scene from it because I'm not choosing one in particular. I just remember like every movie being like, wait, didn't they do that in the last one? And then these movies, and it was like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Why does this character have their powers? How is this character back? Wait, what? Didn't this happen here? I love Days of Future Past, but that ending really doesn't make any sense, and how everything loops in doesn't make much sense. So just the whole universe, the whole thing, the whole gosh damn thing makes no sense. Even if I enjoy some of those movies sometimes.
Okay. Here we go.
Let's just do all mine now.
Oh.
Almost.
Omega's up.
Sorry, Omega.
All right, go ahead.
Well, to piggyback off of what he just said.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, because that was like my number one. It was the entirety of the Fox X-Men universe. So is that, but I'll elaborate. The whole, especially with Days of Future Past, because after they say, oh, they're going to reboot everything, is it going to be correct? No, it's even more wrong.
Yep.
And the Deadpool movies are the ones that got it even close.
Yeah, the Deadpool movies, who's not even full-blooded X-Men, they're the only ones who got any of the mutants right. Like, God, like,
and it's funny
who's bright-eyed? Go ahead.
Deadpool is the one that plays fast and loose with the continuity the most. It's known for it, and it still made the most sense.
It's like, whose bright idea was it to, one, make Juggernaut a freaking, like, a mutant? He's not a mutant. His powers are magical. And two, why is he not Xavier's half brother, or at least or stepbrother, or at least somewhat related to Xavier? He knew nothing of Xavier. We got a mutant here named Juggernaut. This guy can't stop. That's not his powers. That's not his freaking powers. So yes, again, the entirety of the X-Men franchise, the Fox X-Men franchise.
Okay.
Oh God, I could go on and on, but I would take 3 hours. We'd be here till 5 a.m.
Oh! Do you have another one?
Yeah. Actually, this is going to be obscure for many people. Okay, there's an old Master System game called Phantasy Star, which the second and third and fourth iterations were in the Genesis, but Phantasy Star 4 came out in 93. No, it's either 93 or 94. Can't remember exactly when. I got it for my 13th birthday. You can do the math. I don't care. Anyway, fast forward to 2000. They're having another Phantasy Star game come out. Okay, cool. Phantasy Star Online. Oh, it's all going to be online. Sweet. It has absolutely nothing to do with the original 4 games. But it was such a good game, I didn't care. So it's like, okay, it has nothing to do with the originals, but it's still a really good freaking game. All right, fine. Oh, they're making another fast forward like to 2000 and fast forward to like 2005. Oh, cool. Phantasy Star Universe coming out. It still has absolutely nothing to do with the original or Phantasy Star Online. It's its own thing. Okay, great. Yeah, we're not getting this. We're not getting Phantasy Star 5, are we? Even though they had plans for Phantasy Star 5. Okay, cool. Fast forward to 2008. Fast forward to like 2008. Phantastar Online 2. Okay. More. Is it going to be like Phantastar Online at least? No, it's its own thing again. Oh, great. Oh, we're not getting it in the US. Great. Fast forward to 2018. We finally get that stupid game in the US. All right, cool. Oh, yeah. And fast forward another 2 years after that. Oh, we're getting New Genesis? Okay, cool. New Genesis is ass. It turned this entire franchise into a complete meme. It's just, oh, God. But at least in last September, we got this, which I've been trying to get people to play with this. But, working adults, it's hard to schedule stuff. But
yeah.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
And don't worry about it. But, yeah, that's my whole thing. The Phantastar franchise completely changed over like 4 times.
Yeah, I do want to get up with you on that.
Oh!
Damn, they just don't like me today.
Yeah. All right, Darren.
Very frustrating.
I'm gonna do a general one because I don't really think anyone here knows this franchise, or at least not that much. At least I'm going to Ben 10 is very, very famously known for retconning storylines. They do it a lot. They do it in every single show they do. They retcon things. Now, sometimes I think it's for the better. I think retcons can be good sometimes. There are changes I think, hey, this is really cool. But the more you go in, there are things where it's like, wait, why'd you do that? Like, you wanted to do this new storyline, you wanted to expand on some things, but there is one in particular that, if you're part of the fandom, you probably can guess what I'm talking about. But there's one where it's like, why are we doing this? Like, we are kind of ruining, like, almost 10 years worth of storylines and the development and stuff like that I prefer they didn't touch with. But yeah, no, that's my that's my final choice, right? Yeah.
Yes. All right. Spin the wheel. All right, Jake, you're up next. So far, nobody's picked any of mine, which I'm just kind of shocked.
Mine is going into the comic side of things.
Okay.
And this one was
Jake, are you
You're
muted?
You're muted, Jake. Can't hear you, buddy.
It doesn't say muted on my side for you. I just looked.
Who the fuck muted me?
I don't know. I looked as soon as I heard it. I was like, is he muted? No.
Oh, wow.
Like, your mic didn't show muted on my screen, so I don't know what happened.
Anyway. So, going on to the comic side of things. And this one's frustrating, but not for the reasons that people like to jump to. And that's the situation regarding pre-New 52 Wally West.
Mm-hmm.
And, one of my favorite comic characters from that era. He built up a long history of, him being the Flash for like over 20 years in comics. He surpassed his mentor. He came into his own. He built a family. He was living a good life.
Mm-hmm.
And then Barry Allen changed the timeline, and all of that went to shit. And you got what was at the time, it was what you now know in the comics as Ace West, Wallace. At the time, that wasn't a different character. They said, hey, this is Wally, but different version.
Can't hear you, buddy. You're like really low.
What the fuck?
It literally just jumped down. Like, it wasn't gradual. It was like normal to low.
But yeah, like, Wally was a family man back in the day. He surpassed his mentor. He was a well-established Flash for a lot of years. But then New 52 got rid of it. As soon as Barry Allen changed the timeline, it all fell apart. And he got rid of such a great character. And they replaced him with, at the time, it was just Wallace. Like Wallace, what is now known as Wallace anyway, wasn't a different character. It was just New 52 Wally. I'm keeping my eye on the fucking meter right now to jump it back every time it goes down. Anyway, the fact that was retconned to be a different character later on kind of fixed it. But them switching around and Jesus H. Christ. them going around and saying, hey, this is a different character when it is not at all, that pissed me off for a lot of years as a giant Wally West fan. And, we're getting traditional Wally back in the Rebirth era now. I like Ace West as a character. Full disclosure, I do. But I have a massive soft spot for original Wally. So, yeah, that pissed me off. Pissed me off for a lot of years, but we're kind of getting back there now. I'm going to win, StreamYard. I'm going to win. Motherfucker.
I didn't hear anything. Just then, I didn't hear any issue. Was it doing it again?
No, it wasn't doing it again. I literally have my thing pulled up right now. Like, I have my settings page pulled up in front of me right now, and I'm going to keep it there because I keep seeing the fucking thing go down.
But you're like saying fuck StreamYard. I'm not hearing like I didn't hear it drop down or anything like that.
What's happening is I have my settings in front of me right now to watch the mic.
Oh,
go
okay.
down.
So it can't happen again, is what you're saying.
So I'll see it go down before I try to talk.
Wait, so you physically see it go down?
Yes.
That's crazy. Okay.
Because whenever I would go in there before, I would just see it down. Now I've been seeing it go down. Fuck you, StreamYard.
Well, Omega, it is your third and final choice here. And that means, Jake, you get the last one. Wait, Omega's muted now.
That was I had to put the button. No, I hit the button on here. That wasn't. Because I was blowing my nose. That's right. Well, what I was saying before is that when I got into Warhammer 40K, I've realized that there was a fantasy version of it, basically, which it was a more structured rule set of how units move instead of like just loosely how it is in 40K. It's just more, 40K is more like modern warfare, sort of, kind of, because it's in the future and all that. There's more guns and stuff. But of course, there's still like, charging assaults and stuff like that in melee. But this was more structured for like medieval fighting, more medieval battles and stuff like that. Okay. I want to say about when did that bullshit come out? I think it was like 2018, 19, somewhere around then. Games Workshop, in their infinite wisdom, decided to kill Warhammer Fantasy and come up with something else called Age of Sigmar. Age of Sigmar is absolute and total trash. They completely took lore of this because once this was ended, they had something called the End Times, which I thought was kind of cool. A lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was cool. So basically, the End Times was this world is literally ending, and it did. Chaos wins, and the world ends. This world's destroyed, but Sigmar, who's like this big, he's like this human, not the emperor of mankind, like in Warhammer 40K, sort of, kind of, but not that powerful, nowhere near that powerful, but same sort of archetype, that sort of thing. He makes the world again, but he makes it stupid. All the cool rules that was in this, gone. The rule book that for Age of Sigmar, when it first came out, were fucking stupid. They literally had a rule for some unit where you actually had to pretend like you're riding on a horse and say something stupid. I can't remember what the hell it was. It was just the dumbest bullshit I've ever seen. Also, not to mention, being that Space Marines are the best-selling Warhammer figures, they decided to put Space Marines in Warhammer Fantasy. If I wanted to play fucking Space Marines in Warhammer, I'd just play fucking Space Marines. I don't want Space Marines in my goddamn fantasy war game.
You sound very angry about this. So
I am. I love this. I like this more than Warhammer 40K. I really like Warhammer. I'm a sci-fi guy through and through. I like Warhammer Fantasy more than Warhammer 40K. But no.
Okay. Well,
they're called store-class Eternals because they're like these immortal soldiers that when they die, they get reincarnated, but every time they die, they lose a piece of their soul or some bullshit. No, they're Space Marines. People even call them Sigmarines. They're fucking Space Marines in Warhammer Fantasy. Age of Sigmar's fucking trash. Fight me on it.
Do you hate Age of Sigmar more than the X-Men movies?
It's about on par.
Oh, God. Okay.
I mean, no, seriously, they're about on par.
So you guys, nobody picked my three. So I am sitting very good at the moment. Let's start out with number one for me.
I didn't get to say my last one.
Let's start out with number one for me. Go ahead, Jay.
Anyway, I mean, this is probably not going to be it either, but
I doubt it.
Oh,
Mine are really good, and I'm actually shocked that at least a couple of them were not picked, to be honest.
I'm glad I saved this one for last because kind of like what Omega did with the X-Men pick, this one just covers so much, and I'm going to make sure my fucking audio thing is up here so it doesn't get the better of me again. And that is fucking everything that happened
Everywhere,
with
all at
Heroes.
once.
Everything that happened with Heroes.
Oh.
Like, hot fuck. Holy shit. Like, I love season 1 of that show, but the more and more that show went on, like, they just continued to use these lazy ass fucking writing excuses to avoid any and all consequences. Like, there was a constant reset button. Constant characters were just getting, you know, mismanaged and reworked. For anybody who knows that franchise, you would know of a thing called the Save the Cheerleader trap. I don't even want to fucking
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
So fucking stupid. The whole power creep. The focus just got lost, and yeah, it was one of the things affected by the writer's strike. But God, that pissed me off. Just shit after shit after shit. I got so mad with that show. I could go on and on, but we would be here until fucking 5 o'clock in the morning. I love season 1 of that show.
Yeah, season 1 was amazing. I think I saw like maybe 3 or 4 episodes of season 2. It's like, yeah, I'm done with this shit. I don't know what's going on anymore.
You stopped at a good time.
All right, so now I get my 3. Is that correct? So, all right. So no one has picked my 3 yet. So I am absolutely shocked. Number 1 for me, and Omega is definitely going to agree with me on this one. All the Klingon shit in Star Trek over the years that has been changed and retconned and all of the above. Do you agree or disagree with me? Because we go back to like the original series and then to Next Generation and then into
looks
Discovery.
so much different.
Yes.
Because actually, in just to elaborate off of that, in Enterprise, they actually explained the difference between the original series Klingons and the Next Generation. But even I say that wasn't even just Next Generation. That was more like in the movies where they gave them the head ridges and everything, and just Next Generation just continued off of that with the human. Well, I think it was like the human augmentation virus that affected the Klingons because they were trying to make their own super soldiers, but they were using the human template and it backfired. So they lost their ridges. So that's in Enterprise takes place like 100 years before the original series, before the Federation even formed and all that.
What's up, Columbia Rican? You heard Klingons?
Yeah. So
all right. So that's my first one.
That was the reason why the whole difference between the but it didn't in Discovery. I don't know what the fuck those things were.
My second one is from the Arrowverse. Okay.
I thought about this one.
I
think I know what you're doing. I think I know.
The inconsistency of the Speed Force on the Flash TV show. Like you can make a fake one. You can have an artificial one that works through people's bodies. One's through a machine. One of them is like a cosmic entity. Sometimes it has nothing to do with the Speed Force. Then it's the power of love. Then it's a person. Then it's not a person. It's like it was so inconsistent. They were constantly having to retcon the way the Speed Force worked on the Flash TV show.
Just do a whole version of this with just the Arrowverse.
Yeah,
right. You could just do Arrowverse.
I'll just say one thing about that. Not only did the Speed... Yeah, that happened to me.
Happened to me.
Happened to me too. Yeah.
Damn it. But no. In addition to the Speed Force, they kept retconning the rules of the time travel too.
Right.
Like, when the series started, it had like major consequences, and even though this ended up being a retcon of itself, in the last like season or 2, they just implied that you could just hop from one timeline to another with no consequence. When people said more than once over the years that you can never ever go back.
Jay Garrick explained it. There was a whole scene with Jay Garrick talking about how it fractures, and even if you put it back together, it's never really the same again.
It's never going to be the same. You can fix it. There's always going to be changes.
Yeah, exactly. So that was another.
Oh God, Darren! No, Darren!
Oh,
no.
because he was traveling in the negative Speed Force during that specific point in time, and that's why he can keep coming back. So
well, what's even more complicated about like the time travel thing, Jake, is Flash retconned their version of this, but then also Legends had their own version, and then Legends retconned their version, and then Supergirl also did a little bit of time travel shit, which was slightly different from the other two shows.
Okay. And my last retcon is sort of, I don't know if it's completely a retcon, but for me it feels like it could fit in this category, is the entire Snyderverse being made off of a movie that was never intended to be the beginning of a universe, which was Man of Steel. Man of Steel was never intended to set up the Snyderverse. It was going to be a Superman movie franchise that Zack Snyder was going to do that turned in to the Snyderverse.
It was a 5-film story.
Yeah. So that's one that bothers me to this day because we never got a proper sequel to Man of Steel where he's actually Superman, which is what the movie was supposed to do. Was supposed to set up Henry Cavill's Clark Kent as Superman. That's where he was going towards. And instead, we skip over that, jump into BVS, and now he's been Superman for all this time where people worship him that we never got to see, totally making it seem like that first Man of Steel movie was completely pointless. So, yeah, I didn't like that at all.
Did you get the first water that we've had all night?
I don't know what it's for, though. I'm not sure what it's for.
I see, like, fire and water.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's the Flash thing or the Man of Steel thing. I don't know which one it is.
Probably Man of Steel, I would imagine.
Isn't that an Avatar thing, like fire and water or something?
Yes, that's why I did that.
Yeah.
But the Fire Nation attacked, so I don't know why I made fire good, but basically...
Because everything changed when the Fire Nation came.
Yeah. So in the chat now, I'd like for you guys to give your... Yeah, you say it to me, but I don't know which one it's for.
Which take?
Yeah. All mine were together. Yeah, Man of Steel. That's what you said, Darren. You thought it was the Man of Steel thing? Yeah. Anyway, let us know in the chat which person's list you think is the best one. And then if you want to drop your own, you absolutely can. I would love to see what everyone has to say. Also, StreamYard, we need to have a conversation. I'm going to hit this need help button because, like, not just Jake having audio issues, but the turning cameras off. Like
turning camera off. Like,
what is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we're stripping on here.
I don't even think when I hover over your box, I don't even have that option. I don't even have that.
Sorry.
No, like if I click on Darren, my options are edit name and headline, edit mic settings, kick from studio, or ban from studio. I don't have an option. I don't have an option to turn his camera off. So how is that even happening? I'm trying to see where that's an option. I don't even see it there.
No, you can't.
We have to have a conversation stream.
Eric. Eric, look at the chat.
Had me until the end. I know it's the Snyder stuff. It's always the Snyder stuff. All right. So with that being said, I think we're going to wrap up the stream. We did not hit our goal in the debunks chat, but that's fine.
Guys, you let YouTube kill this channel.
Yeah, that was a bonus one for a bonus stream next week. We can try that during the actual stream on Wednesday. Ted says Eric is the one I agree with the most. Well, I appreciate that, Ted. Thank you so much. So thank you guys. We're going to see what you guys voted for in the Reloaded chat. Fetman says, my pick, Star Wars making Rey go from a nobody to a Palpatine.
Yeah.
To Simpsons making Principal Skinner into an imposter.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
And then One More Day, the comic book version, retconning Peter and MJ's marriage.
That was going to be the one that I went with, if not for the Wally West one. That was going to be my comic one.
Yeah.
Because that shit sucked.
Columbia Ricas says a mix of mine, Omegas, Darren's, and Ronan. So nothing Jake said resonated with the Columbia Ricas.
Still probably the worst Spider-Man comic ever is One More Day.
Chris says, my list, I only have two. Michael Myers being Laurie's brother, and Seymour Skinner not being Seymour Skinner in The Simpsons. That's pretty crazy. Stargate did have a lot of retcons. That's true, Ted.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of them in Stargate.
I couldn't even remember half of them.
Actually, like, one of my extra ones here it was not from Stargate, but it was a Star Trek one. It's about the Borg going from a hive mind to having, like, a queen. That's something that was never really established in the beginning.
Yeah, it was a retcon. I don't really hate it, though.
No, that was one of my, like, bonus ones in case somebody picked one of my other ones. All right, so let's see what you guys picked over in the Reloaded chat for us to do on Thursday. So on Thursday, we will be doing our top 3 favorite Black/POC superheroes. Now, that can be from any media. So you can do TV shows, you can do cartoons, you can do Disney, you can do Pixar, you can do Marvel, you can do DC, you can do comic books, you can do anything you want as long as it's classified as a superhero in some way.
So no, Darren, you can't pick Scar. It's like, damn it.
All right, let's see. Top 3 fave POC superheroes. All right, put that on the list so I remember that. And that is going to be on Thursday. Yes, Ted, they do. That's why I think that's why they did that. I think they just went with the most logical.
Yeah, that's why I don't hate it.
Path. Yeah. I don't know if that's what they always intended, but it did feel like something they added on later.
Well, Chris,
I would say, look, I would say that characters like Luke Skywalker could technically be classified as a superhero.
So, Chris, I really have to hand it to you. That's a good poll.
Yeah. I would say that a lot of characters fall. Are they powerful? Are they heroes? Okay, well then they are superheroes. That's how I would classify that. So if there's a character that has powers and does heroic things, I think that falls into the superhero category.
Would you call Sir Duncan the Tall a superhero?
No.
No? I'm kidding.
Not at all. But I
saw a YouTube video today called Sir Duncan is a superhero.
Yeah, I don't see it that way.
All
Look,
right.
I'm not glazing the show that much, but it's a really good show. But
He's a hero.
He's a hero for sure. For sure, 100% a hero.
I just thought of that.
Actually,
what the fuck's that movie where the guy's like, "Oh, you're a villain, all right, just not a super one." What the fuck's that movie?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Damn it! I can't think of
Shazam? No.
It's not Shazam, is it?
No. Okay.
I feel like it's an animated movie.
I would say that Sir Dunk is probably the most morally clear character we have in Game of Thrones. Like, he doesn't have a lot of gray area yet.
How high is that bar, Eric?
It's pretty low, but I would say I would say that he definitely has some questionable things, but not insidious evil things. Like he does things because he doesn't totally understand why he's doing them sometimes, but he's not a character that has like I don't like him because once in a while he murders people. You know what I mean? Like that's not,
I think outside of Sam Tarly? Was that his name?
Tarly.
Yeah, like outside of him, he's probably the morally best character we've had.
I think him and Sam are probably the only two that don't have a lot of like negative things going against them.
And they're probably my top two.
I really thought Eric was about to be like, I don't like him because he takes shits on the side of the road.
Oh God, remind me of that. That's pretty.
He's
crazy,
littering. Yeah.
he's a litterer. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Decency.
I guess he doesn't celebrate Earth Day.
Megamind is what you're thinking of. South Texas Shark says.
Oh yeah.
Forgot that movie completely.
We actually got a super chat here before we go from Staggervore 999 super chat. Thank you so much, Staggervore. So far, I only thought of one retcon, and it's timeless. Yes, the timeless children's story on Doctor Who. It was unnecessary and took away Jodie Whittaker's title of being the first female Doctor. Yep, that was one that I thought about. I'm not a big Doctor Who fan. Like I don't watch everything Doctor Who, but I am familiar with this particular retcon because several people that I know who watch Doctor Who complained about this when it happened. So
I don't think I ever got to that point.
No, you wouldn't have. That was after Matt Smith.
Yeah.
What do you think about this, Darren? Do you have an issue with it?
I mean, I'm still on the one after Matt Smith currently. So I'm not hearing it. But you know what? It pisses me every time we bring the fucking like Daleks back every couple seasons after it's like they're gone forever. We're done with the Daleks. They're all dead.
We need them
And
again.
then it's like, God damn it, leave them. I hate these motherfuckers so much. Leave them gone.
Didn't I can forget, but I feel like what's his name from Legends of Tomorrow? Wasn't he a doctor at some point?
He wasn't a doctor. He was a companion.
Or he like was. He had a pretty big role at one point,
Yeah.
didn't he?
In Matt Smith's run, yeah. I forget his name. Hunter. I forget.
Yeah,
the actor's name.
Arthur something. I think that's the actor's
Arthur-
name.
Darville.
Yeah,
Darville. Yeah.
I think I remember him because he was in like the last era that I remember. So
Yeah,
that'd be where I draw the connection.
and he was married to Karen Gillian's character in that show as well. Which is funny.
Yeah.
It's funny to be like Rip Hunter and Nebula.
Thank you so much for the super chat, Staggervore. I do appreciate it. With that being said, we are getting out of here. Before we do that, let us do our clockwise shout out. So Darren, Omega, Jake, what do we got?
Pipeline Thursday. I mentioned it last week, but we did our episode on Avengers Endgame and Far From Home. That's coming out Thursday. Today's Monday, so yeah, Thursday. I just did an after the credits stream tonight. That was fun, so go check that out.
Okay. What about you, Omega?
I'm still trying to cobble together some stuff. I got one scene in the works. I don't know if it's actually going to go up or not anytime soon, but who knows? Also, I'm trying to learn Blender a bit more, to try to get more familiar with that so I can do some extra things.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to get together a group to play the Fanstar TTRPG. I know Jake said he's interested, Darren, he's interested, but it's just scheduling because I know, Frank, right? He says he's interested, but he works Sundays, but I think he streams Sunday and
Yeah, I stream Sunday.
yeah. Usually I may do it like Monday when I get off work or something. I know Tuesday it's trying to schedule something.
Yeah, Tuesday's Party Nation too. So
Okay. All right, Jake, what about you?
so tomorrow I got a video coming out about Absolute Green Arrow because we got a plot synopsis about that a while back. It looks fucking bonkers with the stuff we learned. And then I said this on my last Lost Level stream. By the way, Lost Level's on Sundays, 7 Eastern. Doing a Lego Batman 3 stream this upcoming Sunday. Did an Arkham stream this past Sunday. Sorry, nope, I get it. Fuck StreamYard. But we did an Arkham stream yesterday. Had almost 40 people there. Pretty good size for the size of channel that I am at any rate. And I did say this, a lot of my videos coming up, apart from the one coming tomorrow, will be very centered around the Bat and the Spider. So you'll be seeing a lot of coverage from those two in the coming weeks.
Chris says, missed after the credits because I decided to waste my fucking time on F1. Do not recommend 155 minutes of boring bullshit.
Oh.
All right.
I liked what I saw of it. I did
It wasn't the worst movie last year.
Columbia Rican coming in with a $2 super sticker with a little fox cat thing, giving us a little raised fist energy. Good. Thank you so much. And you did have a super chat here from or $5 from Columbia Rican. Did you guys saw that Hassan Piker gave the Birdman kudos for his video on Asmongold? It was nice to see a channel commenting on or connected to the community boosted.
Michael Keaton? Sorry, I was making a joke.
No. I don't think anybody on the panel other than I know what this is about.
I know of those people. I know Asmongold has all that money and still lives in fucking roaches.
Yeah, he's a really gross incel reactionary content creator, if you want to call it content. And Hassan Piker is one of the bigger streamers on Twitch. Well, I don't know, he got banned from Twitch, but nobody stays banned from Twitch anymore. So I don't know.
Hassan's not as bad. I don't agree with most of what he says, but he's not that bad.
And Birdman is somebody that I am familiar with here on YouTube. He was streaming Resident Evil earlier. He calls out a lot of the fake channels that I call out. I think he has 300-some thousand subs now, maybe more than that.
So Birdman has his head screwed on right?
Yes. He made a video on Asmongold calling him out. Asmongold tried to react to it and failed miserably because he's a garbage human being. I didn't see the Hassan Piker shout out, but I will check it out for sure. Thank you for the $5, Columbia Rican. I do appreciate it.
I only know of the first two people you mentioned by just seeing everyone trash talk them, but to be quite frank, I'm not saying this is one of those ignorance is bliss things, but I got better things to do with my day than go down
the rabbit hole of Twitter. We were going to watch a video where a couple people were talking about the. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to watch it very quick. If anybody has to go, they can jump off. But I want to watch this video. It's a very short video.
Unrelated. Birdman's a fantastic movie.
It is a fantastic movie. I love how Michael Keaton went from Batman to Birdman to Vulture.
Yeah. There's a pipeline there of things. The bird-related superheroes are villains.
Yeah.
We're gonna end with this clip here. It's a very short.
Are we gonna get Michael Keaton in the next Crow remake?
Yeah. So check this out. This was a clip that was sent to me. I'll probably talk about this more on Wednesday on the Copecast, which I'll be doing at 3:00 on Wednesday. Check this out.
1 in 7 men are called NEETs. They're not in education, they're not in employed, and they're not in training. Effectively, you have the deepest pocketed companies in the world that represent 40% of the S&P who have one mission, and that is to sequester you from your family. And the way they do that is we used to think sex sells. We figured out there's something that sells better than sex, and that's rage. So you have a group of young men whose prefrontal cortex doesn't catch up to a woman until it's 25, is looking for that immediate dopa, and they think, I can have a reasonable facsimile of life online. Why go through the pecking order of having friends when I have Discord and Reddit? Why go through the BS of putting on a tie and navigating the corporate world when I can trade stocks or crypto on Coinbase or on Robinhood? And why would I go through the humiliation, the expense, the rejection, the perseverance of trying to establish a romantic relationship when I have lifelike porn? Big tech is not our friend. The bottom line is they are doing everything they can to sequester you from the most meaningful and important thing in your life, and that is relationships. Get off your phone.
Anyway, I thought it was pretty based.
Speaking of leaks, somebody brought up a thing of the leaks. We got Xenoverse 3 leaked yesterday, so that was pretty big. I don't know if anybody's a Dragon Ball fan.
Yes, and I didn't know about the leak, so that's pretty interesting. All right, I'm out of here. We're all out of here. We will see everyone on Thursday. Make sure you come by my Copecast episode 2, I think, on Wednesday at 3:00. There is no showcast this week, and I don't know when the showcast is coming back, and I'll talk more about that on the Copecast on Wednesday. With that being said, out of here. See everyone later. Hey there, if you're seeing this, that means we have reached the end of the stream. Thanks so much for your continued support with comments, likes, subscriptions, super stickers, and super chats. I just want to give a special shout out to all of the channel members who have contributed to the success of this channel with paid tiers. On the screen, you will see your name displayed as a signal of appreciation from myself and the channel. If you would like to see your name on this list, consider selecting a tier with the join or plus button depending on your platform. Thanks again, everyone. Let's hang out soon in the next stream, and I'll see you then.